Good evening, it's September 6th? Yeah, September 6th, it's 5:10 p.m. This is the meeting of the Board of Assessment Appeals for motor vehicle appeals only. I'd like to have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hit it, Helene.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless the United States of America. Okay, so I think we'll start with, just briefly, if you guys have never appealed your cars before, did you have a chance to look on the website so you know how the assessor does it, how he does the assessing? No? I'll go real quick. State of Connecticut has a formula or a way to do it. They use this book. It's called the NADA book. It has values in it. Like Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds, if you went online and did it, to get your car value. This is it's another source. This is the one that the state uses. They choose it. It's not mandated. They choose to use this book for whatever reason. They wanted it to be uniform, and this is the source they use. So that's where the value comes from. I have no feeling about it one way or the other, and I have no tie to this book. I intend to look at multiple sources when I make a decision. The rest of the board members can do what they want, but that's just my feeling about it. I just want people to know that. Yes?
When is the book published?
It's published. It comes out, I don't know when it's actually published, but it's geared for September to December of 2022. Remember, this goes back to the 2022 assessment of the vehicle. It's always in arrears. So this is the 2022 version that goes between September and December. So that October 1st date would be the values in here. Okay? All right. So normally what we usually do is we go downstairs and take a look at the cars, and then we come back up and we'll call you one at a time and you can tell us what you want to say about the car and why you're appealing. Okay? Everybody else set? Did I forget something?
I thought we listened to the appeal, each one, and then went down for each one, or?
I'm not going up and down there 6 times.
Oh, I see.
I'm going once.
Okay. Yep.
So, all right, we'll go in order. I have them in order, so we'll just look at them in order. If you want to bring your notepad and make notes, that's fine. But I think we should just go down and take a look.
So my only question, Paulette, is that if they're going to be presenting their case at all, it might be more helpful for them to present their case on the record as opposed to in the driveway?
No, they're going to present it up here. We're just going to look at the car downstairs.
Are we going to talk about it?
They might be, I don't know, I might have questions, you might have questions.
How many people
We have, by the way,
the car?
oh, go ahead. How many people?
1, 2,
3. Okay, that's not that many. Okay. If you've already handed in your form, you don't have a car for us to look at, you don't have to come down. This only takes a few minutes for us to just take a quick look at the car. Just something you might want to point out to us, something you might want to tell us. Okay. Anything else?
I just wanted to know if we had copies of the form you just have.
We only have the one, because they don't do them in advance. They come and, they just fill them out today, so we don't have that. Yep.
Yeah, we can have them run it as a copier while we're downstairs if we want.
Do we need 100 forms and waste all that paper?
We just can't view what you have.
Okay, well,
I could ask them to throw it in the copier while we're out.
sure. We have some drawers on top here?
Absorb things.
Looking.
Okay, that's fine. You know, that's one, right, we need one. Unless you need you don't need a copy, you need.
That's one other question. The tax bill that we received, so it's based on the list from October 1st, but it's for the year 2023. First installment, the first 6 months, second installment, the second 6 months, the year.
Yeah, that's when you're paying it.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, let's take a downstairs.
So
You might get closet, yep. Yeah. Later that same day, we're back in the boardroom now, ready to hear people's appeals. I don't know your name, so could you tell me your name?
Judy's here.
Judy's here. What number are you? Okay, appeal number 1. Have a seat. Come step up to the plate here. Have a seat. Okay. So you didn't bring your car, so we didn't get to see it, but that's okay.
The reason why I don't have my car is this car is for my son to get him back and forth to work.
Oh, okay.
For the last 2 years, I have put in thousands and thousands of dollars to have a reliable car for him to get back and forth. I do have the last,
What was the car that?
it's a 2014 Subaru Crosstrek,
Oh, those are cool.
but they're not reliable.
Not a cross what?
Across track.
Okay.
They're kind of cute. They're nicely appointed inside,
They are,
but,
but we
and they have no power.
Yeah. So the last receipt that I do have from October, 2022, the mileage was 164, 162. And again, I have put in close to maybe $10,000 into this car to keep it going for him. Besides the high mileage, we had a neighbor's tree fall completely on the car in the storm of September 2021. It has severe body damage. I do have pictures,
Yeah, we'll take a look.
and again, he is working and can't make it here from
Okay,
Darien.
that's okay.
So those are my three main things: high mileage, the body damage, and very costly repairs.
Let's take a look at the pictures.
Okay, right now, his engine light is on, it's always on. Every time it goes on, we bring it in, they fix something, costs me thousands. He drives it for about another month, the engine light goes back on. So,
We'll take a look.
this is the tree, the car is underneath it.
Mhm, that's nice.
And, you know, you don't know things, but, the insurance, because it was a neighbor's tree, didn't pay for it.
Right.
I didn't, the
Yeah, I
neighbors.
never knew that.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't wanna go after my neighbors for it, it's not worth it. So if you can see the cars
Oh, yeah, there
underneath
it is, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to wait for UI to come and
Clear
shut
it
the
all
power
out.
off and get it all out. So here's the pictures of the body damage.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yep.
Oh, my.
That's-
Yeah,
Did you get the damage repaired, or it's
No.
still, it's still?
you know, he can drive it,
Mhm, okay.
and, like, again, I wasn't putting payment on my insurance.
Do you mind?
Yeah, go up and down with it.
Just a couple questions, was the 164 mileage current, or that was October?
That's October 10th of 2022.
She has a receipt from
Yeah.
where?
Gabrielle.
Oh, Gabrielle, yeah, okay. So it's on the
And
receipt.
then, I just have a question, because I do have a copy of your form, so it looks like you're requesting a value of between 5,000 and 7,000. So is that appraised value or assessed value?
You know,
Like,
they offered me this year $2,000 just to help me out, to take it from me,
Wait a minute, this year they offered you 2,000.
yeah.
okay. But
You
you know,
know,
but
I-
on your form, so like, what are you asking us to reduce the car to?
Well, right now it's at 15,000.
Right, and what are you asking for?
I'm gonna be very honest, I don't know. It's not worth 15,000, it's not worth 11,000. And at this rate, he's driving it, it's leaking oil. It's not probably even worth 5,000.
Somebody, who offered you 2,000 for
The
it?
dealership, just to help me out, because I spent so much money there.
Oh, Subaru that offered it.
Yeah,
And then, is the car in your name or your son's name?
it's in my husband's name.
Is it your husband's
Yes.
name? Okay. Did they give you written permission to appeal on their behalf?
Yes, and I have that.
Perfect, and that's in the file, okay.
Where is Kathy, by the way?
I don't.
They're making copies. I have some,
Are they handwriting
I
them?
have a few of these ones, I'm not sure why, anybody
Are they
wants.
copying it by hand in carbon paper, like the Stone Age? or-
Yeah, I'm not sure. Next
Okay.
time.
Anything else you want to tell us?
That's about it.
I have a suggestion, though.
Okay.
Don't buy another Subaru.
It does have, you know, the model number, all of that.
Any other questions? No?
Do you need a copy of the,
Don't we need unappraised?
I'd like to see the pictures, can you just?
Yes.
Do you still have that for yourself?
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let me see.
your lock?
We lost it.
The only thing we do need is, where it says where your husband or whoever gave you permission to
Okay.
appeal on his behalf. We need that.
Well, I'm also on the registration
Oh.
as well.
Okay. You're the
You're
owner?
on the car? Listed on
I
the
think
title?
it's both of us.
Okay. If
Then don't worry
you're
about it. If you're on it, we don't need it.
fine. Oh, yeah, did you have to swear them in? I guess you do.
Yeah, I guess we do. I was just thinking that when she was talking.
Yeah, thanks. Here, you want to see?
Because if we had the forms, we would know that, but because they're being copied, we don't remember it.
Control the entire process.
This has to all be redone. I'm not having it.
My neighbor.
It's terrible for them. They're sitting here. They should have them, should have been out of here by now.
Why don't they have people do this?
When I called to ask for those, I thought we had, those forms were gonna be blank. I called her, they told me they had no idea what I was talking about. I said, well, you better find it, because I'm not gonna find it.
So your taxpayers are not going through us, this is a volunteer position.
Yeah, we don't get paid.
We're not wasting
It's
your,
not our tax dollars.
however, it's an abomination.
We can't do this again. I'm tired now, I'm tired, forget it. Where's those headache pills? I thought I should have put a little alcohol in that bottle.
Okay.
Alrighty,
Very good, so I'm done?
you're done.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Sorry to keep you waiting, we apologize. Okay, number
I
two,
didn't realize.
appeal number two.
Appeal number two?
Yep.
And you stated your name for the record.
Yes, you did.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Nice
meeting
to
you
meet you
too.
all. Good luck. Your appeal number two,
Yes.
can you state your name for the record, please?
Richard Oriolo.
We need to swear you in. Let me see if I can do it from memory. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter of your car will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Perfect. You're sworn in. Okay, so, now which car was yours out there?
The Toyota Prius.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's a 2017, and it has 103,000 miles on it.
Okay,
I had it serviced yesterday at Westport Toyota, so I have them give me an
oh, let me
appraisal.
see, please.
12.7. And then I went to Kelly's Blue Book yesterday, and they appraised it at 13.9.
This appraisal is of today, or is this the value it would have been?
Yesterday,
But I mean, this, the value that they gave you, that was what it is worth now?
yeah.
Okay,
And what is that?
12.7.
Back in January, when I was gonna trade it in, they appraised it and it was 15.6, so in 8
Wow.
months, it's gone down
Yeah, I was
3,000
reading
miles.
that used car prices have come down.
All right, so,
And, what was it before that, 15? Okay. All right. And Kelly Blue Book was?
Kelly Blue Book is 13.9.
Okay.
Now, the value last year from the town was 16,300.
Mm-hmm.
The value this year from the town is 19,080.
I'm sorry, you said 19,800.
Yeah.
And that's the assessed value or the appraised value?
Those are the values from the
Let me just
town.
take a look, I'll be able to.
So it's probably assessed.
I think the assessed is what's on here. Gross assessed, yep.
Okay.
I mean, I bought the car over 6 years ago. I paid $28,000 for it. Now they're saying that the assessed value is over 19,000.
Okay. Anyone with questions?
Well, so,
Yeah, we gotta make apples to apples here.
What were
Okay.
you asking us to reduce the appraised value to, not the assessed, but the
It probably was on that sheet, which is now where?
12.7. Do you want to keep this?
Yeah, okay, so you want it to be what you have the appraisal for?
Yeah.
They've got their own copy.
All right, that's good.
Let's see what it says. What's that?
This was what he got from the dealership,
Yesterday.
Toyota, yesterday, Toyota of
Value
Westport.
as of today.
As well, as of yesterday, it was 12,700.
Okay.
so, and you estimated, you said outside, you estimated that there was probably 85,000 on it in October of '22.
Yeah, because I put about, somewhere between 15 and 18,000 a year on it.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why we want to know the mileage of it as of October.
'Cause that's the number that's the time period we have to go by. All right, we're gonna keep this though, and put it in your file, if we ever see your file again. Who else? Any other questions?
No, just repeat anything else you said outside. I think you said there was nothing like wrong with the car, right?
No, there's a dent in the side, but, you know, it needs new rotors. Probably needs new brakes. It has 103,000 miles on it, and it still have the original brakes.
Oh, wow, you did great with those brakes.
Well, because I'm a good driver.
I'm not, 'cause I get like 20,000 miles and I get any brakes.
Did you get new tires?
I'm on my third set of tires.
The
Yeah,
typical
with that
wear and tear
mileage,
for
yeah.
the mileage on the car,
Yeah.
you would say,
So,
or no?
but other than that, like I says, I just, you know, I don't really pay attention to these, but when I look this year, saying, why do I have to pay am I paying $525? And then I pulled out last year's bill, and it was like a $3,000 difference in the value. I thought, something's not right here.
Did you ask the assessor that question? I know some.
I called back over the summer, and, you know, she just told me, oh, come appeal it in September. She didn't tell me it was 1 day for 2 hours. Luckily, when I had the appointment yesterday, I went to the website. I had no idea it was just 2 hours today. She made it sound like it was the entire month of September, you know, which,
All righty. Well, thank you for coming.
okay.
We'll be deliberating later, come up, you know, see if we're gonna, what value, if we can grant your request, and then you'll get a notice from the tax assessor.
So the ask is $12,700.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes, he wanted it to be what this is,
12,700.
and that's 12,700.
Now, there was no place I put my email address. How do they contact you?
They send you a letter.
Oh, they send you a letter?
No,
Okay.
Yep, okay.
Thank
Thank you for coming. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's okay, thank you.
Number 3.
Joshua.
Number 3. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Huang Huang.
Okay?
So this vehicle, when it was assessed...
And we have to swear you in.
Oh, yeah.
Please raise your right hand. Solemnly swear that the testimony you will be giving regarding the vehicle in question will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay.
I do.
Thank you. Okay, sworn in. Okay, now please go ahead.
Yeah, so the assessed value in 2021 was 28,000, and then for this year, it jumped up to 41,000. So there's a big jump there. So, and then one of the things was the vehicle information on the tax bill. It just says my Tesla Model Y, but for the same model, there could be 3 different trims. So I just wanna, I spoke to the gentleman downstairs to try and pull out the correct trim, but I think there was something wrong with the system. He couldn't get in. So beside that, I want to get the right trim validated for the assessed values. And in addition to that, my vehicle has been in 2 accidents since I purchased that in 2021.
When you had the accident?
It was in June 2021.
No, not, when you had them,
Yeah.
we saw that the front corner, you told us the front corner.
I have...
Was there anything that was like permanent where they couldn't fix it, like a bent frame or broken something that couldn't be fixed?
I think they managed to fix everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. When you said that the bill went up to 48,000, that's for the October?
41,000.
41,000, okay. That's for the October 2022.
That's for, yeah, July
Let me borrow that.
2022, yeah.
I think I might also take it, never mind, borrow it.
Again, we're continuing to talk assessed value here,
No, we're supposed to be talking,
but what's he referring to?
you're
He
now,
said the bill.
well, let me see, that's what we're gonna find out in
Bill
a
only
minute.
shows that,
Okay, gross that's right, it says assessed on here. So,
The 41
so 41 is the
divided by
assessed value.
27.
Yeah.
58.
Okay. All right.
so it's
And
not
so,
half of that 58,000.
so,
Correct, 58.5.
now you understand the assessed value is 70% of the actual whole value.
But was it done on the correct trim? That was my...
Well, first of all, probably not if you're not sure. So,
Yeah.
what trim do you have?
I have the standard range.
Standard range trim, is it on here or no? No,
It
that's not
doesn't
fair.
say. Yeah.
Standard range.
Yep.
Okay, anything else that might be different?
No, that's...
All right, so, no, but we're asking you is, never mind what this assessment is,
Okay.
what do you think the car is worth?
Right now?
No,
Retail,
November,
no, October 2022.
October 2022, I'll say maybe around 45, due to the inflated price from last year for the car.
Okay, so you're saying the whole thing is worth 45. Okay, I get it.
Brand new with no accident.
Yeah, brand new with no accidents and the correct trim.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when were the accidents? When were the two accidents?
It was in June 2021.
Both of them?
No, the latest one was this year.
Was when?
Was May 2023.
So after October.
Yeah.
Right, but they've been repaired and you don't see them on the car, so we won't consider that one because it's after October 2022.
Okay, yeah.
So we're counting one accident.
Well, we can say, yeah, we're saying there's one accident, yeah.
And so can you just go into some detail about that one accident in June of 21?
I got rear-ended.
Rear-ended.
Yeah.
What was the
I have
cost
the
of
picture.
that, repair for that accident?
It was around 20,000.
20,000?
Yeah.
To repair that?
And it was mostly aesthetic,
No, because they have to, basically the trunk broke and then it has a lot of sensors and cameras and then they have to pull everything out and then they have to check all the insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance paid it?
Yeah.
That's good news.
Wow.
Any other questions?
Now, do we have, is this sheet in here, in his file, just to make sure that the trim is correct? You know,
I wrote it in my notes because I don't,
see that.
Yeah, it just say Model Y also. It doesn't say the trim.
okay, what's this one say? Model Y,
You know, for appeal number 1, we have this whole, the
Yeah.
assessor's vehicle record, so it really shows you
Mhm.
all the model,
Right.
make, everything about it.
standard range.
Got it.
Correct. Okay, I wrote it in there, because it doesn't have it on here.
We
Okay,
can verify it, but you're just saying it's a Tesla Model Y SR
SR, yeah, stand,
2021,
correct,
Okay.
yes.
with no other options? or-
Yep, that's all. Yep.
okay, there you go. You can have that back.
Um,
Wait a minute, or is this, no, this is
This,
this your copy? Did you turn this into us?
I think that's your.
Okay, so this is it, all right. Okay, all right. If there's nothing else, you are free to go.
I just want to check because I wrote something here.
Okay, which, oh, yeah,
before.
35,
So
opinion
that
of
one
fair
was
market value, 35,525, as of October 2022.
Oh, no, can we change that to 45?
Why would you want to?
No, because I asked you about this earlier and I didn't know what was the,
Appraisal versus assessment.
yeah.
So,
So I just want to correct this 35 to the 45 what I think the value is.
Because I think he
Because
wrote
you were-
current
he was
value
thinking.
and not October
Yeah.
2022.
Correct,
right?
yeah.
well, when you bought the vehicle, it was 42,990,
Yeah,
and that was in 2021.
yeah,
And now, a year later, you're telling me that it's worth more than that.
yeah, 45.
Okay, whatever you say, it's your car,
Yep.
your money. That'll be the last thing I'd be doing, but that's just me. There you go.
That's all? Thank you very
Yep,
much.
you can go. Okay, number 4 is next. That would be Carl.
That's right. I don't have a copy, so I don't know what number I am.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Carl Elias.
Joe, you want to swear him in? I'm getting tired of talking.
Yeah, do you swear to tell the truth regarding the testimony of your motor vehicle, the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So help you God?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have no interesting story here. 2015 Land Cruiser, it has 149,000 miles now, so it probably had 140,000 miles a year ago. The assessed value is currently $36,940, which equates to an appraised value of $52,770.
Okay,
Based on all the research that I could do on the web, the highest number I could find for market value for the car was $42,500. And it's increasing. It's gone up the last 2 years. I don't know how, but we drive at 10,000 miles a year and it's going up in value.
I don't think it will after this year.
Okay, well, it did the last 2 years.
Yeah, the prices went up, used car prices went up.
Yeah, I know. So that's the story.
Okay, so what you're appealing is the
Appraised value.
appraised value, and, how much is this, 2015? Okay. Any questions?
No, it's 140,000 miles as of October 2022.
Yep,
right?
that's-
You know, there's nothing major wrong with it.
No, the car's fine. No stories. Nope.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Good?
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got it here, all the marks are right.
Number 5.
And that's the 42,450, right?
I think that's what he said, let me see here.
For
Yep,
now or for
42.5,
last October, that's all.
42.5, that's what I have, as of October. Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Chris Sheehan.
Okay. Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your testimonial today about your motor vehicle?
I do.
Okay, what would you like to tell us?
I'm applying for
Oh, what a nice car.
the antique or rare special interest motor vehicle assessment under the statute that it shall not be assessed more than $500 based on it being over 20 years old and meeting the definition of the antique motor vehicle under the statute.
So, it's a 2003 Corvette.
Correct.
Okay. Antique rare motor vehicle, and so you're looking for the $500 cap.
That's correct.
And you purchased it when?
April 2023.
And do you own it outright, or you do? You don't have a lease or anything on it?
Owned it outright, correct.
Okay, and you don't need to have a
Well, it says
special,
opinion of fair market value is 34,000, but that's not really what you're here.
No.
You're here
That's correct.
you want it to be reduced to 500.
500 cap, yes.
Did you fill out all the other paperwork that you need to do to get it to the 500 for the coming year?
Yes, so I filled out the form in June and filed it with the office, and I have a copy here.
So that'll be for the upcoming,
right.
for the October, but not for last year,
Well, you just bought it anyway though, so,
Correct.
right? It wasn't in effect.
yeah.
Because it's taxable yet. We'll have to ask you that.
So, yeah, I don't know how that works, because that would be a supplemental bill, right? Because you didn't have it when they did the assessment.
Still doesn't even have it, really, because this is October,
Yeah.
October 22,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. It gets confusing.
I'll say. Okay, that's it, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Number 6.
Who has the original number 6?
I think she does. Is that your, yep, that's it, right there.
Okay.
Number
Can
6.
you state your name for the record, please?
Eloise Wallace.
Okay. And Eloise, want to raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your testimony today regarding your motor vehicle?
I do.
Thank you.
Now, we went downstairs to look at this.
Yes.
Okay, that's,
This was a 2009 Toyota Corolla, right?
Yes, it's been on the road though since March of 2008. It was bought it was brand new at the time.
You told us, right. So, yeah, anything else you said downstairs? And, let's see. Look and see what the town has it as, but so just want to make sure it looks like you're requesting a fair market value of $3,000.
3,000 or so. I think I went into the Kelly Blue Book and looked under something in fairly good condition, not excellent or very good, but it was like good. And I think it listed it as about 3,500 maybe.
Okay. Well, maybe the town have it at 5,150?
Yes.
I see it, this other sheet does show the appraised value.
down.
The town has it at 5,150.
Right.
And the mileage as of October 2022?
Oh, well, it's about 123,000 now, so maybe about 5,000 less than that, because I don't, I'm retired, so I don't drive that much, so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what number did you say for October 22 mileage?
That would be,
118.
yeah,
118,000?
yeah. Figuring I do about 5,000 miles a year, say.
So, and there is some body damage, we saw that.
Body damage, and, there were a couple of accidents in its, life, so, I purchased it in Massachusetts, had the rear was hit at one point where I lived, and it was a fender, so I never really had it, fixed. I had it, banged out, And then, on Ann Street over here in Fairfield, where my daughter was living at the time, somebody came out of their driveway and hit where my driver's side door was and the fender kind of in that area. That was fixed. And I just had a wheel bearing replaced, last month, and, I'm sure the other 3 wheels are gonna go soon.
And everything with the engine is okay?
As far as I know, the engine's okay.
Drive's okay?
There is a zip tie that's holding part of the passenger front. I don't even know what it is exactly, except that after we had a really bad snowstorm a number of years ago, I don't even remember the year. I'm not sure of the year, but it was one of the very heavy ones. I was driving up Burr Street, and there was traffic coming in the other direction, and snow was melting, and there was a puddle. So I had no choice. I had to go through the puddle, but it wasn't a puddle. It was a huge pothole, and I thought I broke an axle, but I didn't. So, but something got loose, and so now it's being held with a zip tie. But it works. As long as it works.
Ties and duct tape.
Yep.
Okay, anyone got any other questions?
Oh, and I just wanted to mention that 2 years ago, I paid $104 for the, for my tax bill, and now I'm paying $141, so I thought, wow. I thought that was interesting.
Some of it's the mill rate, right?
I knew it was, yeah, I figured the mill rate was part of it, but, I thought that was a pretty big increase.
Almost all the used cars went up, I think, didn't they, from 2021 to 2022?
Well, in general, they went up, but a car in that condition, I don't think goes up. I don't think, but then,
It's never, also never been garage kept. It's been out on the street for all these years.
okay, thank you.
That's it.
Number 7.
Have a good night.
You too, thank
See
you.
your lineup.
Yeah, well, you're in here, you have no choice.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay. Can you say your name for the record?
Jacob Hirsch. So I have the,
You want to raise your right hand, please, and get sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your testimony today about your car?
yes. So I have the black Tesla Model Y
Right.
Performance that we showed outside. So I think different than a lot of the conversations, mine is really centered around the drop in price in January of this past year. And I have an article from January 13th of 2023. Basically, the Tesla Model Y was dropped by 20% in retail. So the clean retail value that's being used in the assessment, even though it was from October 1st, is not the value of the car clean retail for all of 2023. So if you look at what the new version of the cost is, I have a printout of what it would cost today for the same car. Actually, this is back in June. But it was $57,000 flat for the clean retail. And if you use the 70% calculation that you guys usually use, it gets you to about $39,000 in terms of.
And that's as of this year?
It's as of January. So the effective year that I'm paying for all the property on the car is that full year of value, of assessed value.
Okay, so,
So I know October 1st is the date the book comes out, but basically the whole conversation is around that price is not valid for the year of the value of the car for 2023. And then I have a Carvana offer also from
let
2
me see
months
that.
ago for $39,008. I got another one this morning. It was like $38,005, which also is conveniently the assessed value. Carvana.
Okay.
Vroom won't even give you a value on Teslas because of the price drops that continue to happen. They won't take them because they don't want to be liable for the difference in float. And then this is the article in the current.
Oh, let me take a look.
When did the price start dropping on these cars? You said
January of 2023. It made everybody who owns a Tesla very upset
I can
because
see why.
you could get $60,000 for it as they were in demand, and now they dropped the price, and you can't,
That's why we see them everywhere.
You do see them everywhere.
what they come out with this October, right, with the new book, if they do drop them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, they're
it'll
gonna come out with a whole new system.
I'm sure it'll be 56,000
Yeah, that'd
or
be
whatever.
on the MSRP 20.
Right, they're gonna go, so that may be better, I don't know.
What's,
And by the way, I bought a car in August for my wife, and the assessed value is perfect. No argument. It's right in line with what I would expect it to be. It's just the fact that this retail dropped so drastically in January.
what was your mileage in 2000, in October of 20?
Probably 5,000 miles, and I've got 13 on it now. But again, the car's in perfect shape. You know, only my 10-pound dog has puked in it a few times. So this is really around the clean retail assessment versus the October 1st.
Timing though, right?
Yeah, this is the timing. So do you have any idea what it might have been worth in October of 2022?
40-something thousand.
I mean, when did the price drop didn't just happen on January 1st? So it must
It
have
happened on
happened.
January, 12th.
That's when it just dropped on that day.
Yeah,
Like
so
it hadn't
even-
been dropping.
Yeah, it dropped 20% from 73,000 to 56,000
On that day.
And I was very upset. So even if you wanted to prorate it, you know, by day, that's 73,000 for 13 days of the year, and then the rest of the year at the regular value, I'm comfortable with that. It's just a matter of, you know, the tax bill itself is for the value of it for 2023, that's what I'm paying, and for,
Not for the value of 2023, that's right? Am I right?
For the
no,
value
the
on,
assessed date is October 1st, but it's not for the value of October 1st.
Yes, it is.
it's for the value on that day.
It's for the value of
October first, 2020.
Yes.
So then, for the whole year, so what happens if prices change and
Not
You pay taxes.
I'm not gonna get a credit though?
In arrears.
No, you won't get a credit.
In arrears
No.
on your vehicle. So even if you sold your vehicle, like, you'd still be paying on the vehicle for the year.
So-
They tax you back. It's confusing. Motor vehicles are weird. It's not like,
so even for the second payment, there's no change in what, you know, the second payment is in the first half of 2023.
I mean, am I wrong in saying that the evidence that he is providing is valid for next year?
Well, it's gonna be perfect next year, because it's gonna
Yeah.
drop in price.
Right.
that they're changing the system that they're using to value cars.
Yeah, the systems will be, the system will be different.
20-year depreciation, so.
Okay, well, the
I'm not
MSRP,
sure how that's gonna work.
MSRP on the used value?
That's good. No, I think the original value, and then they depreciate it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna take the original value and then they're gonna depreciate over 20 years. You know, I don't know how they're gonna do it. I'm sure,
Okay.
whatever
You're
they're
probably
gonna
gonna
do.
see me again next year if
That's
you try
fine.
to screw me.
Happy to see you. And the other, no matter what you do, it's like a casino. You'll
Yeah.
never beat the house. So it doesn't matter what system they use, you're
Yeah.
gonna get screwed anyway.
Like I said, the system on the other new car I bought, doesn't matter, I'm not even worried about it. This is just basically
That was an
the new
unusual
price,
thing.
the new price of the car is basically the gross assessment for this. Granted, yes, it's October 1st, but,
No.
so there's nothing that,
Can we have some, do you need, are those copies we
you
can
can
have?
have everything.
Let me take, I wanna take a look at it
I
again.
brought it for you.
Okay, great, thank you.
need this.
I wanna take a look at this again, so I can really understand it. Okay.
I'm
All right.
surprised more Tesla owners haven't come in who bought at the end of last year saying, holy crap, my values.
Or they're not paying attention.
Yeah, a
They
lot of people
probably
don't
aren't
pay
paying
attention.
attention.
No, a lot
I
of
have
people
a
don't.
1-year-old baby girl that I'm trying to set up the right way, so
Yeah.
it all goes to her 529.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you get it, we'll get notified
You
in
get notified by mail. I don't know how long it takes you to do it, but probably not
before
long.
I'm supposed to pay.
It's probably in a week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
See you next year.
Yeah. Hopefully get fixed.
Yeah, really. Number 8. Hi.
You don't have that
Wait,
paperwork, right?
Yeah, he just handed it
I
in,
didn't get copies, so.
because he had it with him. He just gave me the whole packet.
No, I meant for number 8. I don't have it.
Oh, number 8.
Yeah, number 8.
Yeah, we don't have that. Well, no, we don't have it.
So, yeah, if you could read it, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, please state your name for the record.
Emily Vargas.
Okay?
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding the testimony of your vehicle today?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, what would you like to tell us?
So I am here for the antique motor vehicle to get it reduced on the taxes from last year.
That's a 2001, right?
Yeah, the 2001 Honda CR-V, and it has currently 277,000 miles on it right now. So,
Okay.
I'm not
A little
really
bit
sure.
of,
Would give us an estimate, what you thought it was maybe, like, almost a year ago?
it
Almost a
doesn't
year
matter.
ago.
It doesn't matter because she's looking for the $500.
Got it. Yep,
So what her estimate value is $500.
all right.
Okay?
And when did you fill out the paperwork to apply for the antique plate
This was in July
of 2023?
of 2023, yeah.
But she doesn't need an antique plate.
No, I don't need an antique plate. No, I'm just,
No,
this
we're trying
was,
to get the $500.
She doesn't need a plate for the $500.
I
You
think,
don't need to do it. I was reading,
Sorry, you have to fill out an application, am I right, for the $500?
I didn't even see that in there.
I have this
You may have to, I didn't see it, but she did it, so that's good.
But she filled it out in July of this year. Right. That's what I'm asking.
Well, she had no choice, because,
My mom had come in to pay for taxes, and then they were told, I have an outstanding balance of something, and then they were like, wait, you have a car that's over like 20 years old. If she comes in and shares her mileage, it gets reduced for the either past year or the upcoming year. I'm not really
for
sure.
the upcoming year.
The upcoming, I think it'll be for the upcoming, I don't know that we can change it for last year.
Okay.
Because how old was it last year? Was
Two
it,
of them, right, the other gentleman who just
Yeah.
bought his Corvette.
when, let me see, 2001, so 20 years would be 21. 21, so she, technically, it's over 20 years old. So I have to look back and see what it says about that application.
Right.
But I know they don't have to have plates, they don't, I thought it, I have to look at it again, I thought it said they don't have to have anything. But,
I thought, if I remember last year, it was that they had to fill out.
yeah, I don't know if that, I'm not sure that was right, that's why I want to look at it. It could have been, I'm not sure, so we'll take a look at it and see if it can be for
Okay.
that,
Yeah, I have
that
everything
tax
in here.
period. If not, it'll move forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, and if they just send you a letter and it's either, deny, approved, or whatever, you can always call the office and, they can explain it to you or.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Or contact the board back and. we
Yeah.
can
Okay.
explain
I would say
right
contact the
then.
board back.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also get rewarded, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're
You need-
welcome.
You want
We
me
need
to
all
put
that,
this
yep,
on
anything you've got. Wait, is your application there?
Everything is in.
I don't want,
here.
I don't want your application, if it's a copy, I'll take it, but if
No,
that's your,
it's
I don't need
the
it.
whole thing.
I don't need it.
Okay.
Just need this, really.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So you don't want this?
Nope, you can have it.
Oh, okay.
They have a copy downstairs, obviously, right?
Obviously, yeah.
I'm not sure if they have a copy of this.
Oh, you might,
downstairs.
But you turned it into the assessor's office, or did you turn it into the DMV?
I didn't turn it in at all. I just came today.
Oh, for the $500?
Yeah, but this was filled out in July, so I'm not sure if this is a copy or if this is,
no, the assessor's downstairs. You might want to
I
stop
just go
down
down
there.
there?
Yep.
Okay.
Stop at the desk,
make sure they have this?
Exactly.
Okay.
And he has it in the back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, good luck. Number 9. Lucky number 9. There we go.
Oh, poor thing with the baby. You're the last one.
Yeah, well, I had a nurser, so.
Okay. All righty, thank you. Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Can I just stand up for her?
Oh, sure, you don't have to sit down.
Melissa Dawn Strauss?
Okay. You can raise your left hand, we don't care.
No.
You do it. Do you solemnly swear
Nothing, yeah.
to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your assessment appeals on your motor vehicle?
Yes, I do. And this one we didn't see, right? But if you can just tell us what the vehicle is.
So it's a Jaguar 2019 I-Pace. We got it in 2021, and in 2022, June of 2022, we got hit. My wife, Danielle, was on I-95, and a car sideswiped her, and it took over like 2 months to get it repaired. There is a few scratches on the car now. In October, the car had about 10,500 miles on it. Currently has 15,900 miles on it.
I'm sorry, what was that first number?
So, the October mileage was 10,500. Current mileage is 15,900. Just looking at the rate that we paid last year versus this year, it just increased, and it just seems kind of odd that we're paying more for a car that, in theory, has depreciated, yes. Yeah, sorry, it's mom brain, depreciated in value. So just looking at the Kelly Blue Book and just, trying to see if we can get, it adjusted.
So Kelly Blue Book had it at what value? Is that what you picked?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I just put the.
Here it is,
yeah,
okay.
I just put the Kelly Blue Book.
And is that value as of today, or that's value as of October 2022?
This is of today's value, so.
Okay, so what would you, in other words, what would you be asking for the value in October?
Probably, this is today's value, you want me to just write it?
Wait a minute, let me ask you something before we go on. I think it's not paying attention to say there was an accident.
There was an accident in June of 2022.
And has that been repaired?
That has been repaired.
Is there any permanent damage from it?
No permanent damage from it, fortunately.
Okay.
But that does,
That took 2 months to repair, or how much was that damage? What was the repair on that?
it just took too much to damage because parts and
Well, you can't get parts.
can't get parts. It's a European car and,
True, January, yeah.
yeah, so, you know, it was drivable and the other guy hit our car and, you know, his insurance paid for it, so, but, you know, if we ever want to resell the car, it will, you know, come up on the CarMax and, you know, show a ding, so. And, you know, we're paying our taxes accordingly, so, you know, we want to make sure,
That's why I pay for some of this stuff myself.
yeah.
I don't want them
So the
coming up.
town has it at 35,230 appraised, and, I'm sorry, what did you say your October app was for?
So my
We did.
October F would be 30.
30.
Yeah, because at the moment, the fair market value is 25 to 29, on the Kelly Blue Book, so I'm
Okay.
looking for, you know, just,
That makes sense,
yeah.
I think. Okay, any other questions? No?
Everything else was accurate on here, right? I paid S, as in Sam, Jaguar, 2019.
Yep,
Okay, Ford
Four-door,
Yep.
style, blue,
yep. I don't know if you need to see the scratch, like there's a scratch on the car, so I don't know if you want to see that.
how bad is it?
I mean, it could cost about $700 to fix, which we're not
Okay.
doing because it's a scratch and
Pay
it's
for
like,
yourself.
Pardon?
Don't turn into the insurance company.
yeah,
worth it.
we're not increasing our insurance
Yeah.
rates just for a friggin' scratch, pardon my
Yeah.
language, but,
I don't blame you.
so, yeah. If you
All
want
right,
to see that.
if there's no other questions, you are free to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Do I keep that or?
I know, we'll take it.
All right, so you'll just adjust it to
Yeah.
the 30.
I'll put it right here, because I put it in my notes, so I'll just.
Do you want this just to show how much we paid last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to know about that. Let's see, what'd you pay last year?
Yeah, so there's I paid, there's the four, and then,
Yeah,
yeah,
The original one.
so yeah, just, you know.
okay, great.
And then the Kelly Blue Book that, you know.
Yep, I saw that. What does it say on here what you paid last year?
I was trying to find the little slip, but,
Oh, okay, that's all right.
I don't know.
and I figured it was just easier to just go on the website.
Yeah.
How are you done?
No, we're not done, we have till 7 o'clock.
45 minutes.
Got another 45 minutes, guys.
So,
Okay, come on in. Sit right down there. There's no
Oh, I
waiting
sit
now.
here?
You missed the line. You missed the line. You're
Okay,
it.
I'm it.
Oh. We just may have had this week. What's that? Evidence staple.
You too.
Somebody has number one appeal with a staple in it.
I do not have any issues.
No, the Xerox of the staple looks so.
Yeah, it looks so real.
I keep touching it thinking it's the, I may still have
Go with,
exactly.
This goes with appeal number 2.
I do remember folding the page.
Okay,
All right.
all right, please state your name for the record.
My name is Scott Paglia.
Okay?
Do you want to raise your right hand and get sworn in?
Oh,
Your
really?
testimony needs to get sworn in.
Oh, wow.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your testimony on your motor vehicle today?
Yes,
Okay.
And, okay, may I have that paperwork to look at, if you don't mind?
you should, of course.
Thank you very much. So this is number 10. Okay, so it's the 2001 Honda Civic LX.
2001
I can
Honda,
hear you.
2001 Honda Civic LX.
Okay.
Okay,
The chairs with the end there.
What's that?
all righty, so what would you like to share with us about the car? Why are you here? Car
I am
over 20 years
here asking for the designation of classic, because the car is over 20 years old.
old. Okay,
Now, I've looked into it in the past, and I've gotten confused between the state and the town, and the classic and the antique. And I just found out recently that the town has their own designation of classic versus the state. You don't need classic plates for the town to designate your vehicle as classic. And the definition is over 20 years old. So I was told, so I'm in the process of doing the full application for permanent classic status via the town, but I was told I could come here to ask for relief because I paid 2022s and the car was already over 20 years old. So the taxes that I just paid in July, I can ask for the designation and say, hey, you know, the car was over 20 years old. Can you, I guess it's retro, and then I'll turn in the paperwork for 2023 and beyond. So just a few side notes. I purchased her new in 2001. I have been the sole owner. She is garage kept. She's a standard. I was looking for some statistics with regards to standards and how they are decreasing in production. To make the ones, the only thing I could really find, because I was trying to compare current times to 2001, I couldn't find 2001 numbers. So I found an article from 2021, the New York Times, fairly reputable. And in 1980, 35% of the cars produced for sale in the United States had manual transmissions, according to the EPA. Today, this was 2021, let's give a date, June 24th, 2021. Today, the share is about 1%. And just 18% of American drivers can drive a stick, according to the U.S. News and World Report. So that's, they're not making as many standards now. My car is a standard. I plan on, she has, for whatever reason, been a magnet for a couple of back-in accidents, and including just in parking lots, not heavy damage, but I've had her repaired. She was also in a hit and run. Somebody sideswiped her, and I debated not having her fixed, because this is a couple of years ago. And I'm like, because I have a deductible. And somebody said to me, listen, you're going to keep this car. You're going to be going places, and you're going to be showing up with it like this. Get her fixed. So I got her fixed. And I continue to carry full insurance on her. People say, why do you carry, I never remember what it is. I think it's collision or full coverage. Yeah. And I continue to cover her fully, just in case, whatever. Because if something happens, I don't want it to be totally scrapped. I did bring just a couple of pictures of her. She's in the garage. And I don't know how to timestamp date,
Well, let's look at it this way. When were these taken?
These were taken this afternoon.
And you just got sworn in to tell the truth.
Yes.
So we'll believe you.
Okay. So the mileage is...
Oh, there it is, yeah.
111,373. She turned 22 approximately 15 days ago.
Happy birthday.
So, thank you.
Did you name her?
My mother
nice
used
shape.
to... What's that?
It's in very nice shape.
You seem to have a very, intimate relationship with your car, so I just wondered if you named her.
My mother, not really. My mother, all her cars were Bessie, but I just couldn't, my mother's passed, I couldn't quite pass that along. So no, she does not have a name. She's not perfect, but she's mine, and she's over 20.
You're a proud owner.
Yeah, and I part of the reason I bought a standard is because nobody would really teach me. So I said, how much?
Yeah.
They don't?
Nobody can drive them. Those kids can't drive them.
Well, that goes to this article. You can have this article.
Yeah, they don't. Are you kidding me?
So anyway, yeah, I think that was.
Regular car.
So I do, if you divide the mileage, by 22 years, I do slightly more than 5,000 miles a year on her, so.
So if we go back to the mileage of October 2022, you'd say it was about 105,000 miles, about a year ago or so.
About it, I think it was slightly more. I think it was about 106.5. As she's gotten older, I've gotten older, so I do drive her a little bit more, but you could go out and look at her, but you can't because I biked here, because that's my main transportation.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, actually, did you, Did you, make an application for the classic designation?
I got it I believe it was last month. I have not put it, I was told it's not due until December?
That's what I'm not sure, we're gonna get.
We're not sure, we have to find out. It's very confusing, and
Okay.
so we'll research and see when it's due. I would say file it as soon as you
You've not
can.
completed it yet.
I have not completed it. No, I have not. But that's, I plan on doing that for going forward. This is for,
It sounds like that's what was told to you.
that's what was told to me.
They said just come in.
Just come in, and then maybe we
They
can
didn't say fill out
retroactively,
the application,
Right.
yes.
we can retroactively change the value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the third one he's had tonight out of 9 who
Yeah.
did the same story, filled out the paperwork this year, or is in the process of filling.
Or just said, yeah, come in, appeal it, use it for next year, yeah.
I don't want to,
Okay.
that's what I understood from the assessor. Appeal now for 2022, get the paperwork in for the permanent designation.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
yep, that makes sense.
so maybe he's saying appeal the value if you had a lot of miles or it wasn't in good shape or something like that. Well, we can clarify.
Okay. Why not?
But I
Yeah.
think like he was there.
Oh, no, you can have them. I mean,
We'll put them in the file.
Thank
there's
you.
a file.
Thank you very much.
All right, is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Do I get a letter?
You'll get a letter in the mail from the town.
Yay or nay?
Right, yeah, your name.
Thank you, have a good night.
You're very welcome, you too. Why do I know that guy? What's his name?
Scott Paglia.
What does he live?
Scott Bagley?
He lives on Ridgely Avenue. Yes. I thought we were gonna, if I didn't sell him his house.
You did?
Yeah.
You what?
Never mind, we'll talk about it later.
Still need number
I sold him his house, like in 25 years ago. I don't even, something about his face reminded me, but,
I have to see if,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna go
see.
downstairs and see if one's down there.
okay.
So nobody has it?
Nobody has appeal number 1, right?
Oh, let me keep looking. Yes, here's one right on the
Okay,
bottom of
there
the
we go.
file. This-
Okay.
This has the staple in it, number 1.
All right.
I thought, sorry, I forgot you were still looking.
Okay. So before we start the deliberation, I just want to mention that, Ross gave us some things to look at, which was very nice of him, because that book is sometimes hard to use, so he gave us some handouts, which was good. And I know that everybody has different feelings about this, but in my research, when I was sitting home doing it, I just want to say that I understand why every town uses the same system for uniformity. They say for fairness. I understand why they use this book, I think, because it gives a higher value than most other books. But when I read the paperwork from the state and the Office of Policy and Management, OPM, it does not say that they have to use it. They chose to use it. It's recommended. They also quote a statute, 1271D, but it's actually almost a misquote, or it's a misleading quote, because that doesn't say they have to use it either. That says, generally, they use it. It doesn't even say it's recommended. It's generally they use it. So that's why, in my mind, I don't really feel that I have to stick to these numbers, if I don't think they're right. Because it's not mandated by the state. It's their choice to use a book that costs, where the values are higher than every other place you look. So I look at it, I probably look at it a different way than most people, but unless I'm told I have to do it, and I'm supposed to be representing the taxpayer, why would I want to use a book that gives them a higher value than it really should be, based on everybody else's books? So I like to use, I'm planning to, in my thinking, just mine, I'm planning to think that I might, if I'm not sure, if I'm not convinced that I think their value is right, I might want to look at other sources. Kelly Blue Book, Edmunds, and I might even want to take an average. But I'm not really just going to say, okay, well, that's what this says, so I'm going with it, because we know it's higher. I did my own car, I think I mentioned it in an email I sent. My own car value was $7,000 higher with NADA than it was with Edmunds and Kelly.
Well, I think in past years, we have done that.
We've done that.
You know, we've looked at
And I think that it's,
a bigger picture.
yeah, I think you need to look at a bigger picture, because otherwise, why would we be here? If what we're gonna do is go, oh, yeah, well, that's what they said it's worth, this is the book they use, there's no reason for us to sit here and waste time. So when we do residential real estate appeals, we look at other sources. So unfortunately for the taxpayer, it's always harder, because they forget that we have to go back to 2022. That's something that I think I would forget too if I didn't know better. I'd go look at it, oh my God, this is what it's worth now, but it's really what it was worth in 2022. And as far as the antiques go, or the special, whatever, the special class or whatever, we have to look that up, because I don't know what they have to do.
You were supposed to have them sign this thing.
You don't have to sign anymore, and I know that because, I'll tell you why I know that. Because we had the same issue with some other things a couple of years ago, and, the town attorney said we didn't have to sign in person anymore.
Okay.
So, I guess we can start with appeal number 1. What is
Do
that?
you want to group them together? I know we have 3.
We can group the ones that all want the same thing together. That was the 3 with the special.
Right.
I think I put something in
And I
my,
think the 2 Teslas were pretty similar as well.
yeah, but let me see. I think I put something in my notes, in my pictures. I think I took a picture of something about, I was taking pictures of some of the stuff, like about, I thought I did something with the antiques, but I'm not sure if I actually did it. I thought I did, but I might not have. The thing about those I find very confusing, because it almost says like you don't have to have anything, but then why do you have to fill out an application? And when does it have to be in? And can you go back? I don't know. I really didn't see that in there. Do you know anything about that? No, because I don't. Oh, the other thing, going back to the NADA book, they talk about clean retail value. And I did find in here where it said, this was just articles, wasn't in the guidebook. Clean retail value, the vehicle has to be in great condition to get that price, if you go to sell it on your own or trade it in. So they're saying clean retail value, but they really mean excellent condition. And how many cars did we look at today that were in excellent condition? Not many. All right, so where are we gonna find that information about the?
Yeah, how are we gonna answer this?
Well, we have to look, you gotta go to the state statutes, I guess, and look at the thing about the antiques.
So we're not gonna be able to resolve that tonight.
Well, no, well, why,
We can ask the assessor.
you're right,
You know, just give us his opinion, and then if we, will, you know.
Why do we have to ask the assessor?
Because
we don't know the
like his
information.
opinion.
You get it out of the statutes.
I would.
why would we have someone who knows the statute, and they can at least guide us to it,
Well,
okay? So,
if the statute doesn't guide us to it, the reason I say that is because they all came in here and said, well, we talked to them, and they sent them to us. So why didn't they just tell them what they needed to know?
They may have said that you could try to get a reduction for the current year, if, you know, for other reasons other than what you're saying, and for next year, your application will be good to get to the 500. They want, you know, so that may be the standard answer, but if you think you're too high for last year, you can go in and ask for a reduction, and going forward, you'll be at 500. I'm guessing. That's what I would expect that they would have said, but it would be helpful for them to confirm what they said to the people, because we've heard it 3 times in a row.
Yes. I have a feeling that they didn't make it clear, because my question would be, how many of you believe they ever make anything clear?
okay. But
I asked a question, I'm talking now.
Yeah, but you're just, no, you're not really, you're just complaining. You're just complaining.
All right, we're starting off, I'm not putting up with it. When somebody's
Okay,
talking, you don't talk.
No.
When you talk, I don't talk. It's very simple.
Yes,
No,
you do.
excuse
You
me.
cut people off all the time. Okay, listen, we have an expert downstairs, he can come up and he can tell us.
Okay, why don't we have them come up, if that's what you want? You're
Yeah.
so set on it, please get what you want, because that's what I'm here for, to satisfy you. So go get the assessor and let him come up here. Please do.
So then I just wanna make sure we're asking him to discuss the
We are asking him,
classic
Yeah.
designation.
that's all we're asking him at this point, yes. And if he could explain that in detail, that would be good, so maybe next year we won't have this happen.
So of the 3 that are looking for the classic designation.
I can see this is gonna be a lovely 4
Is there
years,
any-
next 2 years.
Just looking at my notes here, anything that is standing out in terms of the condition?
I'm sorry, Carol. Condition on what?
What numbers
When
were
we
there?
refer to the appeal, so appeal,
What field numbers were there?
yeah, I have
Wait, I should have it here.
Number
appeal,
5.
5, 9, and 10 are the
yeah,
three.
5 is
I have 5.
classic.
You purchased it in April 2023, number 5.
That's
Right.
it. And 10 classic.
5, 8, and 10. Yeah. Number 8 was the.
Yeah, no,
was-
sorry,
oh,
nine
I'm
is,
sorry,
right, nine
Nine
is
is
the
the Jaguar.
Yeah, Jag.
I feel like they were in last
Hey,
year.
what's up,
Was it
what
the
are
other?
you
I don't think they were in last
Oh,
year. There were three others last year. One was, a BMW, I forgot what the others were. There were three
We
others.
had Jag last year. I feel like the other woman on the application was here last. Either way, they can come every year, right? Doesn't-
Yeah, they didn't come every year.
That's a lot of miles. I can't believe that thing is still kicking.
Which one?
Did she say 277,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
I had a 2001 stop, but I only used it
That's
in
the Honda,
bad weather.
right.
The CRV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CRV.
And I only had like
What did you do
100.
with my CRV?
It was in good shape. I mean, it looked cute.
It did look nice,
I
yeah.
would buy
That was a nice looking car.
that car.
Out of curiosity, what is the, what type of value, like number 8? Oh, we don't have number 8, do we?
No, we
Number
know.
So what it,
8.
Now, the Jaguar was here last year.
so just
Okay.
so that I get my math in my head, are we saying that classic is max, you just do 500 across the board?
It's classic, antique, and something else, specialty or something.
Okay.
And it's just supposed to be 500 now.
500
Across
assessed
the
or
board.
appraised?
No, they are taxed, with the value. The value is, no, they only pay 500. That's what they pay. I don't know if
Oh,
it's assessed or appraised. They pay no more than $500 in tax.
In taxes?
Yep, it's different. They
No,
do it.
it's assessed at $500.
Yeah,
They
but
tax
that-
it on
I thought it was they only paid, they paid up
500
to
is a
500.
lot.
I was gonna say, that's a lot of money.
Hello. Sure.
Sure, come on in.
You went downstairs already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Would be appeal.
Okay, so this is appeal number 11, I believe.
According to my piece of paper.
Yeah, we're just waiting
Okay.
for your,
We'll give him a few minutes and then we'll start, because here he is. Okay?
Sorry, we have another.
Okay. Peter, we have another,
Yeah, sorry.
Another one downstairs.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not a Tesla.
Okay. All right, you can,
Oh, another Tesla down there.
Can you say your name for the record, and, I have to swear you in for your testimony, please?
Noah Gordon?
Okay, and can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God regarding your testimony on your motor vehicle today?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I received my, my tax bill, and I thought it was a bit high for the value that you guys had it, the assessed value.
okay, let me just stop you for a second.
Yeah.
We don't, it's not us,
Oh, okay,
the
well,
tax assessor. We're
got
not,
it,
we're
yep.
independent. We don't
Yeah. Okay,
decide that.
yep.
I was just gonna ask you, can you just tell us what kind,
Yeah,
have a copy of the sheet, if you can tell us?
copies. If you,
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh,
if he hands in his sheet, there's,
Yeah, do I hand you this whole thing?
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, you need
so-
one, don't you?
I didn't take the cover.
I know what type of car I have, but,
Okay. Oh,
so I have a,
sorry.
okay. I have a 2013 Honda Civic. It's an EX. It has a high amount of mileage on it compared to other cars that were of that year, make, and model. So because of that, I think the value of the car is less than what it should be.
And can you share with us what you think it should have been valued based on October of 2022?
Well, so I, to be honest, I didn't do the research at that time, but I have the research recently, and so I paid about $9,000 for the car when I bought it in 2020, and I realized that since then, used car market has gone up, and I went on to the JD Power website, which was provided by, it was like a link from the town's website, and it says the average price paid from, if you buy it from a dealer,
is 9,950, so that's what I used.
Okay?
That's not the trade-in price or anything, that's a lot less, obviously, it's on the other. So, and then according to and that's based off of the miles that I have on the car, and I have pictures on my phone of the speedometer, not the speedometer, the odometer, if you guys wanna look at
And
it.
what, you can just tell us what that is.
Yeah, it's 155,083 miles.
And that's
Right
now?
Yeah, that's right now, and then 2 months ago, I took another picture, and that was about 153,000.
So what do you think it was in October of 2022? Like, how many miles do you put on every year, would you say?
So, so I have two pictures, one from July 21, and one is from 2 days ago.
July 21.
July 21st of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about, what is that, like a month? Yeah, about a month later, and that's an extra 2,000 miles.
Ooh, so you're putting 2,000 times 12, 24,000 miles a year?
Yeah, because like I use the car for like work and stuff like that, and I believe before I bought it, the car was used as like a salesperson's car, because one thing we asked the dealership when we bought the car, because we bought the car used, was like, why is nobody buying this car? And they said, because it has a high amount of miles on it, probably because whoever had it was driving it a lot before sales. So, like, compared to other cars of that year, it has a decent amount of miles on it. So
would it be fair to say it's about 135,000 in October of 2022? You're using your 20,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, I mean?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think when I last did my oil change. I'd say like, yeah, maybe give or take that, yeah. So I just used those numbers, and then according to, the tax assessors or I guess it's the tax assessor's website, it's, the assessment is 70% of the value. So I just took the 70%, which is 6,965. So that's how I got what I think the car should be assessed at.
And,
Yeah,
let me see if I'm looking at this correctly here.
So the town's appraised value is $8,870, if I'm reading that.
I thought
Yep.
No,
that was
that's,
the assessed value.
This net value is assessed,
Yeah.
Always assessed.
it's always assessed.
even on this sheet? Okay, so I was looking at it wrong. Okay, so the town value on this,
So
Try to talk about appraised
8,870
value.
divided by 0.5 is,
Divided by 0.7,
I'm sorry,
70%.
I said 0.7, I said 0.5, but I did 0.7, yeah. It's 12,000.
okay, so the town has it at 12,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are you
Right,
saying
is
you
that
think it should be?
Yes.
As the appraised or the assessed?
Appraised for October of 2022, like last year, not now, but
Okay.
October of 2022,
I guess the appraised should be around 9,000.
9,000.
Yeah.
And you said you got that value from J.D. Power,
Yeah.
which is basically almost the same thing that the Nata book is.
Yeah, well, if I press the helpful
link.
hands, I pressed
You got it
that
right,
link.
Mark, okay.
Yeah, that link
Okay.
went to this JD Power, yeah.
Anything else going on with the car?
The muffler did just fall off, and I just had to get that replaced. Like it rusted through and everything, so, like, all the typical wear and tear. I had to replace the tires recently, because, wear and tear.
Okay.
Probably have to replace the brakes soon. But besides that, like,
Body's okay?
besides that.
Besides, okay.
Yeah. Like, there's dings, scratches on it, but, yeah.
Any leaking, water leaking in?
Making up.
No, it's true. I bought a
I
used
hope
car.
not.
I bought a used car.
I have not witnessed
That's
it yet. Oh.
I bought a used
No,
car.
I understand. I appreciate it.
And I had a mechanic look at it. I took it up to a local place. I said, I wonder if there's any leaks or anything. Nope, it's perfect. Okay. I open up the trunk. I lift up the floor of the trunk to look for something. It's like a swimming pool in there. So that's why I was asking if you noticed any water, because the car's older, so.
Yeah.
I wasn't making it up, I was just thinking about my own car.
No, my wife's car leaks.
Okay.
When you open up the trunk, that's what happens.
Okay.
So you paid about 9,000 in 2020.
Yeah.
You appreciate the fact that values have gone up.
Yeah.
So you're looking for an appraised value of that same, around that same
Yeah,
price
around,
now?
yeah,
Or for October of 2022?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Instead of it being, I think as you said, like it being appraised at like 12,000 or something.
12,000, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I'll do it exactly for the age of the
Yeah,
car.
which I like,
12,671.
yeah, which, like,
12 points.
I'd be lucky, or I think a dealership would be lucky to get that amount of a car, especially at that time for this mileage, so.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You'll get a letter with a decision.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need like any, like paperwork or anything?
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take it, whatever you've got, we'll take it, take a look at it, sure.
And then I
Why
also,
not? Yep,
as I said, I also have a picture of my mileage, if,
we don't need to see it.
Yeah.
No, you're under oath.
You're under oath,
Okay.
we'll let that go.
okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
You must be appeal number 12.
Oh, yep. Okay. Sorry for my attire, I was just moving a crib.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Do I need to pass these out?
You have copies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything, yeah. If you just want to slide them over here.
I don't have them.
Rushing to fill this out. Hopefully I did it correctly.
Thank you.
Oh.
Did you get 11?
No, I thought, he gave you this, I thought he handed it in. Because he said, Mark said he had copies, so he doesn't have copies of the,
What, number 11, we didn't get?
no.
Can we run down and grab them?
Yeah, if you can. Okay,
Model 3, yeah.
okay. Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you state your name for the record, and then we have to swear you in?
It's Gregory Justino.
Okay. Greg,
I need
can
to
you,
spell.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Can you raise your right hand?
Yep.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, referring to your testimony today on your car?
I do.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
You may speak.
So I wouldn't have come here if I didn't call someone from the office and they told me to do this, but they said that one of the big things for Tesla owners is the car value dropped by $7,500 to start the year. Once I saw this value that you guys assessed it at, I thought I could trade it in with Tesla and then take advantage of the $7,500 federal incentive that got upped again, and they valued the car at about $22,000. So that's about $12,000 difference. Cosmetically, it's got, normal, nicks for its age, 4 years old. I think my first tax payment was like $750 a couple of years ago, and now it's increased by close to 50%, probably, roughly.
How about the miles on it? Is it average? We sometimes look at the October 2022 mileage on the car.
Mileage is about 30,000.
Now or in
That's
last
good.
October?
I haven't really driven much, so I would probably say maybe it was probably 25, 26 back then.
Back then, okay. And what were you asking it to, the fair market value, I just
You
want to
say
make
in
sure talking
23.
in appraised value, right, for October of 2022 would have been?
Well, I would take the 7,500 deduction from the 33.5. So 26, because they valued it at 22 as of like June this past year, so maybe it could have been slightly higher.
So in October of 2022, what do you think that's
26?
26,000, okay.
How does the Model 3 differ from, because we looked at some other ones here, and one is performance, another one is YSR.
So it's just a lower range. The Model 3 is like the lower end. And versus the performance, it's a lower range, it's only 240 miles range, rear-wheel drive, it's not all-wheel drive. It's not.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it's a little, slightly less quick than the performance, so, yeah, and then obviously Model S, Model X, those are like the $70,000 cars or more.
Okay.
Okay,
Any other questions, anybody?
nope,
Nope.
thank you.
You will receive a letter in the mail with the decision.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, thanks for coming in.
Really interesting, these tests.
Okay, so now we'll hear from Ross with the
Sure.
$500 thing on the antique car.
What's your question on it?
Oh, I thought maybe Peter told you. Okay, well, you guys have the questions, you can ask him.
Yeah, so, well, I can ask. We had 3 appeals today, all people who have either recently filled out whatever the town form is to get the $500 assessed value on their classic vehicles, or they're in the process of filling it out, but it's all been since October 2022, but they filled them out recently. They seem to be asking for their value to be reduced to $500 assessed in this appeal process.
I can't reduce an assessment once the grand list is signed, unless it's sold or, destroyed and not registered, and they turn the plate in and all that. So on these types of cars, if they get that in before I sign the grand list, I can review it and give them that assessment. Once grand list is signed, then it has to come to the board for the 22 grand list. And so this is for over 20-year-old cars as of October 22. And they are unmodified.
Right.
It doesn't, unmodified doesn't, putting new brakes on or new tires that's fine. It's not altered. It's supposed to be cars that are preserved for their historic interest.
So I guess my question is, the gentleman had a form here, right, and there was a certain date he was told that it needed to be in by December.
Yeah, usually it's in by, I forget what the date is, but usually I have asked for them by mid-December.
And how do they, how do taxpayers know this?
It's on our website.
They just have to look for it, they're not told, they just
So when
have
they
to-
buy the classic car?
Yeah, nobody told, I don't know, maybe somebody would tell them, I don't know.
The reality is, people are not putting them on classic cars. I mean, you look at all the antique plates on cars, when you're driving around, they're on rundown, Honda CRVs, which have no real collector interest.
I wonder why they do that.
People put plates on.
I wonder why they do that, Russ, because they don't have to have them.
Why do they put the plate on?
Yeah, I mean, they
Because
don't.
they get the $500 assessment.
But now they don't have to.
DMV doesn't check anything, they just give you the.
I thought they didn't have to have the plate. I thought they didn't, I read somewhere, just either yesterday or
If
the
you don't have the plate, you have to come and apply to me.
Okay,
And that's what the form is for.
all right, so,
So they fill the
So
form
you have
out.
something in your database that says they have the plate?
No. If they have the plate, they're done.
Right, you're aware of that,
Right,
so
well,
you do it.
once it's on, it's on.
Right, it's on the registration, gotcha.
There's 50 different class types of vehicles. and
Okay,
25 is antique.
gotcha.
So that happens.
Don't have the
If
plate,
you don't want to put the antique plate on, or you don't put it on,
right,
then, and you want the $500 assessment, then you have to come to me and apply.
Okay,
So the
Okay.
form is, what it is, and I asked for the
by
the
December,
2 pictures, front and rear, under the hood and in the interior, just so I can see if it's been modified or not.
and that's all on the website.
Now, I wonder why that guy with his Corvette, or no, was it the Corvette that he just bought, why wouldn't he have gotten an antique plate on that?
You just purchased
So-
the car.
so, excuse me,
But I mean, if he would have had to get new plates and everything, I wonder why he didn't just get the
Right,
antique plate on it.
right.
So-
That's
Sounds like it makes it a lot easier.
Some people don't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But why would he even have a tax bill if he bought the car and
It
didn't
might
have
come
liability?
up on the supplemental list.
So is
It's not
he
on the
appealing
regular.
his supplemental? I think can.
Well, they all
In other words, he doesn't even have he doesn't have a tax bill from last year. I just want to make sure we're evaluating these correctly.
It's my understanding that they all want it to be retroactive.
Yeah, you're right.
None of them have identified it to him by last December.
So you can't change it because the grant list is
A
signed.
percentage have filled them out, one maybe guy didn't, but they all basically are asking us to retroactively, grant it.
The SUP is kind of on the, gray area.
So
I
you
don't think
can't,
it ever got addressed in this statute.
so you can't change it because the grant list is signed.
That's why I set them up.
So they're coming up here. So now we can change it. Okay,
Back on.
so it's that simple.
The one guy just bought it, and he
And they hadn't filled it out as of October 2022, but I guess that doesn't matter as long as the car was that old.
Yeah.
On that date.
It's gotta be 20 as of October of 22, so they have to be in
2001.
or earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's easy enough, yeah.
I mean, what's interesting to me versus
2002.
like personal property where they like, we can't change it if they
Right,
can
you
only
can't change
fill
it.
it out.
So
We can't change, like now, we.
Well, you can't change, you can't change
The fine,
right, the fine, can't change the fine, but you can change it. Okay. All right,
so, okay.
so is that, are we settled on that topic?
I think we are, yeah.
Are we?
Oh, I am.
I guess so, I mean, normally I think last year, didn't we say to people, no, you have to come back next year or something?
I know what we did last year.
Well,
Because they're being taxed for last year. I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna probably treat them all the same, I just wanna make sure.
as long as the dates are right.
And you just couldn't do it even if they filled it out in January, as long as
You
you
want
have
me-
signed
I
the grant
probably
list, you
have
do it in arrears for
I
that.
asked for it by December,
Yeah.
so hopefully it comes in before I sign the grand list
Uh-huh.
in late January.
And that grant list is
I don't
getting
wanna get
signed for October of 2022, grant list. Okay. So it's sort of like our real estate appeal, which is later.
But
If
since,
somebody brings it into January, I'm not turning them away, but
Mm-hmm.
you try to get that stuff in ahead of time so it's not all jammed up at the end.
but since you can't do it, even though we didn't do it last year, we could do it now if we wanted to. We could actually vote to,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the other gentleman, it may have been a classic plate issue with his, and he also had a lease on it, he didn't own it or something.
well, I don't think it matters, he's paying the taxes.
Who are you talking about, last year?
Yeah, I remember there was one
Yeah.
gentleman.
Oh, no, I'm gonna take a
And
quick.
Russ, should it matter? I mean, if it's a leased vehicle, because he still has to pay those taxes, the leasing company isn't paying them.
I think the
It's a
leasing
leased
company
vehicle?
was supposed
His
to
was
be,
leased.
last year, it was supposed to be filling out the form, and they did not
It
fill
was
it
a
out.
really expensive car, it
Very
wasn't something
expensive
that, it was a really, really expensive car, it was something really unusual.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
the
owned
Judy
he
Julie
owns many cars, and this was just one in his fleet, and they just messed up or something and did not do it. Try to remember
He
what the
didn't
car was.
do it. He didn't do it. I mean, he had
Yeah, it wasn't the
numerous-
Jaguar, the
numerous,
Tiguan.
fields with that plate, he just hadn't done.
Right.
I'd have to reread the statute because I don't know if it talks about ownership.
Okay. Well, none of these were leased, so we don't need,
Oh, okay.
we don't need to worry about it.
That was
We were just asking because it came up that. Okay, so, are we set with that now? Any more questions about that topic? No?
Just looking to see if I had any
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thanks, Russ.
from last year.
And if one gentleman has not filled it out yet, right, he did not finish it. One of the
hasn't finished,
gentlemen
right.
was here, he's in the
But it
process.
doesn't really matter, because
They didn't finish.
it doesn't really
The last
matter,
gentleman.
He didn't-
unless I'm
That's what
misunderstanding.
he told us. If you wanna double check and.
Yeah, he said, I think somebody said they hadn't finished it, I thought I
The
remembered.
very last, the
But,
appeal number of.
but I don't think it matters.
I mean, you should have submitted the completed form to you as a board.
He was
Like
in
the
the
last
process of
one.
completing it. Scott Bagley of the 2001 Honda
Legally,
Civic.
he
form.
got
One
information
of those
saying,
gentlemen who-
fill it out for next year, but
Right.
come back and,
Right.
But we didn't collect the form like.
No, we didn't collect it, because I didn't know we needed it.
He said that he hadn't completed it yet, and that he was told that it was not due until
So it's
December,
Emily.
so he has not
Did Farkas.
submitted it.
Is that her name or Farkas? Farkas, yeah.
But I mean,
Emily,
that's
well-
you to Lori, you should have brought the.
He should have finished the form.
I feel like it was
I don't know, the first one should have been.
I think everybody was kind of like misinformed, I
Well, like,
think.
we didn't take Emily Lawrence's form, she saw it.
I can't find it.
Right.
But did they file it with your office? I guess that's what we want to make sure that it's
I
filed.
had one guy file today, and then he did not appeal.
Yeah, we should tell all three of them.
Call them up and tell them we want the paperwork.
Bring them back.
Right, we'll just bring them back.
You have it.
Okay, we can do that.
The office should
And,
have.
And all we have to do
Then I
is,
will have to table it. Christian
we'll have to
and
table it, yeah.
Nancy.
Okay.
Just those two.
Yeah, we can do that.
The one guy who
Okay.
didn't
How do we do
appeal.
a special?
We won't have to do,
How about
we can do a
Christian?
special meeting,
Purchased it in April
Any other-
2023.
I'll
That's the.
figure out a way. I'll figure out a way with Jan, with,
Right?
Listen, if, I think, you know, if we,
But he purchased it, oh, it's a supplemental, that's the
if
supplemental.
we
thing.
reject it and it's actually, the form has been filed, then we, you know, can redo it? I don't, I mean,
No,
but you have,
it
if
was
you have
done today.
None of the people appealing now had the forms in on time. Or I denied it. I don't recall denying anybody, because I don't think we had any come in this level.
When you say on time, like by last
December.
December, yeah.
but just so I'm clear, because they didn't file them on time, so they didn't file them on time, you signed the grand list like you were supposed to. So now they're coming to us saying, well, you know, we want you to change it go back.
Well, because
But
they're getting the bill.
Right, but they never filled in the form. Does it matter that they never submitted the form?
Does it matter?
Yeah, for us, I mean, now that they've come to us,
I don't know if it's, you know, I'm thinking about veterans exemptions. Those have deadlines that have to be met to qualify. I don't think this has to be, I think you can change these.
okay.
I think you can.
Okay.
I've had other boards change them.
All right.
Veterans exemptions are different.
No-brainer.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to train of thought.
Oh, that's okay.
Because if you don't file your DD 214, you're not qualified for the veterans exemption.
Okay, well, that would make
You
sense.
come in on October 2nd, you're late, you're not qualified. It's not, you weren't denied, you didn't meet the qualifications.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is, it's not defined the way veterans are. So like I say, other boards I've worked with have done it, so.
But
Well,
you do ask them to do the form. They should submit
They
the
should
form.
submit the form.
Right, so if they haven't
Right.
submitted the form
Because they're
yet.
saying, here, I have an antique, I want to get the,
Right. And if you have done
We didn't
the
know
form-
that we were supposed to take the form.
Yeah, we didn't know we were supposed to take it, so we can ask them to bring it to us.
He wasn't
That's
done.
easy enough.
But the Corvette one, I'm curious about that one. Do we know that number 5? That's a 2003. Is that right?
Wait, you just bought it.
You just bought it though.
You bought it in 23, but it's also a 2003 car.
Right.
I bought.
So it would not have
20
been
years.
20 years.
Right, it
old
wouldn't
in
have been-
October.
Right.
Right, that one's a no until next time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he could file a form in December and he'll be fine.
Mhm.
I think he said he did file, I just didn't, like,
He did say he did file, I remember that.
yeah.
He was pretty clear about
Yeah,
that.
he just bought it and he filed it. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
But you said Emily was one who did file, and
She did.
she did. Okay.
Which appeal is Emily? Number 8.
Okay, and number 5 was definitely a 2003 vehicle, right? I'm trying to find that.
Mhm.
Good.
Whoever has the paperwork.
Well, good.
I have a question on the
People
Tesla.
on the Tesla this year.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
They did something in January. I think they dropped the price.
Yeah, like a lot.
We got a lot more Teslas in this town than those 3 that came.
Yeah.
but they are valued as of last, right?
October 1st.
October 1st.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and I do need a little help with the book at some point on what, at least probably the first one. So I don't know if you wanna help me with the book at this point in time, or.
Well, what's the issue on number 1? We haven't even talked about it yet. I don't remember, that was the first
Are we
one we
ready
did.
to
so let me go
start?
back.
Because he's here.
Yeah,
Want me to
there's a
look it up?
couple that had excessive mileage, the last gentleman, and then there was also the Crosstrek, which had significant damage.
Okay, the cross-check has
Those are kind of the
significant
two
damage.
that I feel at right now that I would want someone to look in the book and tell me.
Can't we look in the book?
Good luck, my eyes can't even see this.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it without readers, so who's that?
I have readers, yeah, I was able to.
Do you know how to use the book?
I don't know how to use the book.
Is it the same book?
Well, they're different years. This is
This is
through
October
2014, that's 15 to current.
We have a 2014
So they're just different
Subaru.
ages.
Oh, right, yes,
So-
give them both to me then, yes,
Okay.
I can do it.
So,
I mean, I
I have my reader, so I can see.
So just when you,
Mhm.
when you're doing this, if you're gonna do a mileage adjustment, I can't even read it, somewhere on here it'll say a class.
Yeah, I was looking at my own
Like
car,
1 through
so it
4?
said like, rough trade-in, average trade-in, and
Right, well, we use
clean trade-in
clean
on
retail,
this
well, we use
side.
clean retail, it's over here.
So, okay,
So
that
that
says
number should
trade-in.
match.
Well, we use the clean
Yeah,
retail.
the clean retail, yep.
So that should match what the,
But
what you guys.
But the miles,
Right, but that's what I'm getting at, see
Yeah.
over here where it says mileage class 1,
yes,
okay?
yes,
So class 1, and you go to the mileage table,
okay,
which are here.
okay. That's
see-
what okay.
Each section, each clump of miles, like this is 1 to 5,000.
Yes,
And then they've got class 1 through 5. So
okay,
you read across, so you find your class, read across, find the mileage section that you're dealing with. So
Right.
what's the mileage on that one?
on this, oof, well,
Anyway,
that's,
you find the
Yeah.
mileage that it fits into,
yes,
find the class in that group, and then read
as
across
it's
to the
referenced
model year.
here, and then
And
go,
that column, read until you get to the column for that particular model year, and that's your plus or your minus.
including
Just
plus or
remember,
minus,
sometimes
like,
what sounds like high mileage on an old car is actually low mileage.
I know, that's why I like to
People
look
get thrown,
at
you
the
say,
book.
oh, I've got, 100,000 miles on my 2000 Civic. Well, that's low mileage for a 20-year-old car, 23-year-old car. So you might actually have an increase.
It goes to 2015.
Right, so these
Which
were
one are we
used to
looking at now?
size.
Because I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, so can we do the 2014 Crosstrek as an example?
yeah.
Like, let's do that
It's gonna
one.
be in this book.
What
It was
model
appeal
is that?
number
Oh, yeah.
1, it was a Subaru Crosstrek.
And cars in the front, trucks in the back.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I'm not sure where cross.
I don't think we have any trucks, right?
Well, cross truck might be an SUV.
Yeah.
They'd consider that a small SUV, I think. Now, what did she say?
Cross, one of the original.
What?
I think it was one of the.
They're really cute, but no power.
V at that.
You need to like
They were
use
called hybrid.
your feet to get, they were called hybrids.
What is it?
The
Crossover,
2014
crossover.
Subaru X Crosstrek.
Okay, let's see. It's got
Do you have the VIN number from my printout?
14, 15, 16.
I didn't even
Yes.
know number.
So in the,
That's 9 years, right?
because the model, because each one of these is a different model.
Oh,
So in the VIN, you'll see the letter P.
1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth digit is
Nine
P,
years.
is that what
Okay,
you're
what's the letter after the P?
S,
Yes.
A.
oh, really?
PA?
You're looking at
Okay, so that is
I was
a,
looking at one.
that's a limited.
A is a limited, okay.
So the clean retail on that is
Wait a minute, we're talking about James
16,025.
Sear, right?
Yes, the
No.
2014 Subaru Crosstrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a limited,
Mm-hmm.
so it's 16,025 is the clean retail. So start there.
Oh, now, she
Oh,
said, she gave
25.
us 15,970 as a number, I thought. Maybe
That
we
might be,
calculated
because she's
that.
probably using today's number, not the October 1st. number.
Okay, okay.
So,
That's a phrase, right, or whatever, that's 16,025.
yep,
Okay. And then it has
hold on, I gotta get the class code for it.
164,000 miles on it.
So that's a 2014 class 1?
Class 01,
Okay,
if
how
you're
many
looking at,
miles?
looking at your
What's the
sheet.
mileage?
It has 164,000.
164,000 miles.
No, in October of 2022.
2022, yeah,
160,
4,000.
so that's class 1. And I'm sorry, what was the year again?
2014,
That's minus, I think, 2,600,
for the mileage, because it does have high mileage.
class 1.
Okay, yep.
So it's in the 160, 165, class 1, would be the first column.
And we
Because
take,
that's the
and
2014.
when we take minus 2,600
Off the
from,
number
Up to
16,000.
16,000.
off of 16,000.
Right.
Okay.
13,000.
So, yeah, saying it's like 13,000. And right now, we're saying it's appraised at 15,000.
16,024.
Wait a minute, so what, did we, and we included the body damage?
No.
It's got, it's like,
Yeah, no,
No,
that's
we know
fine.
that.
All I'm just trying to figure
Yeah.
out is how to use the book to do mileage adjustment, because in this case, this car has way more issues with it just than the mileage.
Oh, yeah.
The last gentleman was primarily mileage, so we could have done his, not the last, the second to the last, right? The Honda Civic LX.
What year?
Is that the one? Oh, the 2013 Honda Civic EX, number 11. He was the one who said he has very high mileage on his Honda. So that was a bad example, but,
He was 2013, I believe.
yeah, he's a 2013 Honda Civic EX, number 11. But I don't know that I have his cover sheet, or I don't know.
You have the printout on that one?
Kathy, do you have the printout for number 11, page 2?
I got it.
You put the number on your
The
chart.
letter that's, so you'll find an F in the VIN,
Yep,
and then what letter comes after the F?
B,
B like boy,
yep,
and then
B2F,
FB2,
well, B2F,
6,
no,
8.
8.
B2F85.
so was FB2 85,
Are you in the right,
F.
FB2F,
and then a 5?
yes,
Yep.
85.
So that's coming out as a LX. No, I'm sorry, that's coming out as an,
Civic
Well, the
EX?
EX.
Yeah,
Civic EX?
I can't believe you could read that book at all without your glasses or ruler.
FB2, F,
Yeah, he said EX.
and he said EX, right?
Uh-huh.
He said, yeah, you have it in as a Civic EX, and that's what he said.
And it's, I'm sorry, one more time, FB2,
F85.
FB2,
yeah, okay, that should be an EX.
yeah.
So it's starting at 11,425, class 1, and the mileage was?
135.
130, I have 131.
He said 135 in October 2022
Oh,
as well.
okay, thought he was
Okay,
155.
so 130 to 135, class 1, and the year is 2013?
Yeah.
Minus 575.
$500?
575.
$575, off the 11,425.
Right.
And that was
We
minus
know that he
$500 for what reason?
We have him at 8870, is that right? Gotta figure out the math here.
What was that for? Why were we minusing $500? What was the reason?
Because of the mileage,
How much over was he?
And I
That
just
was
wanna-
just barely high mileage.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that
How
the
much
sheet is-
mileage?
He had
the sheet says.
135.
He had 135,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you
And how-
divide
how old is
have
the
a
car?
calculator, 8870 by 0.7?
So 10 years old.
8870 divided by 0.7.
But
Okay, so, yeah,
current mileage is 155, but
Okay.
back then.
Oh, that's the
I get it. Yep, I get it.
12,700.
Okay.
12,671. So I had
You said 11,425.
Class 1, minus the 575.
That's what I'm trying to, yeah. What you just came up with
12,000
isn't what the book
And
says,
then,
or what he's at.
Sometimes using the entire VIN gets you a better number than just using that piece.
But regardless, whatever the town has him at, minus
575.
575 for the mileage. Never mind with the number you
But
just
this
gave.
guy, I mean, are we discussing these appeals? Because this guy said that he did the JD Power link that was provided
right.
to him.
So I don't know why there's a problem.
So I'm confused
If
why
they
he's
use a
using a link that
They
was
used the link that
given
was
to
on
him.
the website,
As of today, they cannot go
Okay.
back in time.
well, then why do we have it on there? That's, I mean,
As a
I don't mean to be
guide.
rude,
I'll
but that's
take it down so we
confusing.
don't give people the opportunity to even look for it. We're
You
giving
don't have to
people
get
some-
nasty about it. If
We're
it's,
giving
if
people
it's,
some information.
okay, you're giving the information, but if it's now, and they're trying to do their appeal, and then we tell them we need it for 2022, which we do, what good did that do them? He comes in here with today's value. Can he, and explain, he got it off the
I don't
website.
think he did. I don't have my notes correctly, but I think that he got the JD Power value and then adjusted back and said, I think that it's worth about 9,000. for October, because then I said to him, so you paid $9,000 in 2020, and you're estimating, based on the J.D. Powers data, that it's $9,000 for October 2022, and he said, yes, it hasn't gone down because in 2022, some of the values went up. I'm okay with that. So that's in my head.
Yeah, he paid $9,000, but he did say the J.D. Power average price paid was $9,950, which is just below the $10,000, and, you know, if you take the $11,425 minus the $575, that's $10,450. We're close.
Well, that's that one.
Yeah,
So we're talking about 9,000 versus like 11,000.
or $10,450.
Yeah, he's at 12,671 right now, right? Appraised.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure it's the right number.
Well, I was saying minus that 575.
Right.
But I'm just curious, after we just did that little exercise and we came up with the 10,450, why is he being appraised at 12,671? Because didn't we just say class one is
You looked at the
11,000?
book and you came up with
When you run it
11,425.
by the full VIN, it sometimes is more accurate than when you price it off the book. A vast majority of our vehicles come pre-priced through DMV using a link, using, I don't know what they call it, but they can look it up in J.D. Power's database.
The
So
VIN number?
DMV takes the VIN and looks it up in the J.D. Power database, prices it for us, and sends it to us.
Not
that-
us or JD Power?
Hmm?
You're saying,
Well, J.D. Power is purchased an ADA, it's now J.D. Power.
got it, okay.
So that is sometimes more accurate than if you just take the fifth through eight digits of the VIN and try to look it up in a book. You get more detail through the full VIN.
But the mileage adjustment's probably going to be very similar.
Mileage just has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So if we're just adjusting for mileage, then whatever your number is. Okay.
Just a matter of accuracy.
I don't understand
Full
how
VIN is
the
more
man
accurate.
pays 9,000, how can we appraise it from?
I think we just need to start
I know.
attacking these, yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're
Thank
good, thank you.
Me too. I make a motion that we vote on the Teslas.
Which one was the Tesla? The last one?
Three of them. There's three of them.
Okay, there's three, right,
You
the
want to
three,
make a
okay.
motion then, Carol?
Well,
Or so
I don't even know, what are we making a motion, what are we discussing on them, anything, or we just make, I don't care, we can do whatever, but,
I meant to start discussing.
okay, so let's start discussing them. Who's ever ready to discuss? In, one at a time, no interrupting people, and no snide remarks.
So the number 12, that was the glass guy that came in,
Yep,
he's asking us to take that $7,500 price drop off of the town's appraisal of 33.5. So that was very specific. I don't, in my notes, I don't have the other two, giving a number, asking us to drop it by, unless I'm wrong here. Maybe Jacob, did he do?
wait a minute, I wrote,
He gave percentages. Trying to read it.
the other one was number,
We
the other one was
asked
number
for
5?
numbers. Number 3 was a
Yeah,
Tesla.
number 3, what does he think it's worth?
45,000.
I have 45.
I have
Yeah,
45.
Yeah, he asked for 45.
And he's at 58.5, is that right?
Correct.
Oh, that's right, that was the one, I remember that one,
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one.
And
I
7.
wasn't sure the trim was correct at the time.
7,
But we checked that, correct?
He's asking for a $13,500 deduction. Number 3.
So can we even consider the Tesla price drop when it didn't happen until January of '23?
Yeah, it's a good point.
that's a good point.
And there's
I mean,
more
they
than
all
3,000.
have good, sorry, Kevin,
No, go ahead.
they all have, you know, a good argument for next year, right? That, you know, this happened and
Mm-hmm.
caused a decline in value.
But was the article that he referenced, did it say that even though the price drop came out in January 1, did it say that it was, it
Drop
did say
in.
that it was, yeah, I mean, it was sort of a retro,
Yeah, I meant to look at that and I didn't. Where's that article?
do we have that?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Is this it?
yeah.
Right in front of me, yes, please. Because I was wondering that myself. I tried to ask him that, but I didn't really get the answer, so.
You know,
Oh, no,
was it
this
like-
is the model,
was it
this
like-
is the information about stick shift.
Sort of
Who's
saying,
got the,
well, you know,
Debbie, do you
too
have
bad if you bought it already, because
I thought he gave it to
you,
us,
anybody
right?
in 22,
Yeah, I
you
thought he
already
gave it.
lost value in your car. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
If we don't,
If it came out in January, did they know about it in October?
probably, but we don't know that, so.
Did they know about it last January?
Probably.
I don't know, probably not. That's a whole year prior.
Yeah, I don't think they
Shit,
know who
anything
you're
happened
prior.
here. But I mean, we're just making we're making a subjective
I don't know what.
assessment. Yeah, I mean, is it something we do this year, or do they have to come back and do it for next year?
I mean, my opinion is that, there's probably more than 2 Teslas in Fairfield, and if we really feel strongly, that this was a horrendous thing that's gonna happen, I think next year is the appropriate time to do it, but I'm, especially since the article came out, and I think it was because the new cars were listed for sale, right? That was it, the new model
Yeah.
came out at a
Yeah.
much lower price,
Yeah.
which is what happens when you buy, right? A
New-
newer, the
new-
new technology is
yeah.
gonna be high priced, and it's gonna eventually come down in the
Right.
marketplace, so.
For sure.
And you see how many more Teslas there are on the list in the last year because of that. So,
Can't seem to even get I was trying to, Google it, but. So,
I was Googling it
with
too.
automobiles, there's no like little wiggle room, couple of months, we're talking about 3 months. Like we do in real estate, just that little, I feel like,
these are valued annually,
yeah,
and so if the value drops within a year, right, just like real estate drops within 5 years, you gotta wait, because you're still going back.
I mean, if
So-
we don't approve these, I really feel like the message that they should get is just not like, sorry, we denied it. I think they should all be told,
Well,
because it happened in 2023, January 1st, you should come back next year, because you'll definitely be
I agree.
eligible for it then.
so
But I'd like the letter to reflect that.
I don't know that we can trust that the letter will reflect it, so I will call them and tell them. That unfortunately, it doesn't apply to this tax period that they're being taxed on. But that in the future, like, come back next year and come with the same argument.
You might be worth less.
Might be worth even less.
All 3 of them said their cars are in beautiful shape, they
Yeah,
had no issues with it, there
Yeah.
wasn't high mileage.
Yeah, the one guy did have the 2 accidents.
Oh, that's.
But he did
yeah,
repair
One had
them.
an accident in
One
2021.
Well,
One accident, right, but he did repair it, and he said there was no permanent damage to the car.
$20,000, and he used his insurance to repair it.
Anybody want to make a motion?
We have to make a motion in the affirmative, so I think it is to grant the appeal in the amount.
No, we don't have to make it in the affirmative, we choose to. Because remember, we don't use Robert's rules.
No, I know, but then you get into a double negative, with a vote no on a no, then you never voted on the appeal.
Whatever, I'm not gonna fight about it today, I'll wait for next year. Okay, anybody want to make a motion to, that's right, we have to go through that ridiculous process, to make a motion to grant it and then deny it, is that what we have to do?
That's what the town attorney had told us, to make motions in the affirmative.
Well, we don't work for the town.
all right.
But whatever way it
He's our
gets
legal-
done is fine with
He's our
me.
legal advisor.
Whatever, he's their legal advisor, he's not ours.
No, he's actually ours.
Well, he's theirs, because we don't work for them, nor are we an agent of the town, per state statute. So, I wouldn't be rude to him, I mean, he is the attorney, but,
Do we want to go in order, number 3?
oh, wait a minute, we didn't do anything with this one yet, what do we, let's just get this over, let's get this out of here, so.
She's referring to the Tesla order.
Yeah,
of
right,
the-
3, 5, and,
3 is the first Tesla, right?
3, 7, and 12, right?
okay.
So this gentleman requested, so, I mean, I can make a motion to, approve appeal number 3 for the Tesla, Kathy, however we usually write the automobile, motions up, and to grant the appeal for requested value of $45,000. Right, that's what his ask was,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So all those
From
in
the town
favor,
value of 50.
right?
Right, now we have, okay, so now, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Now, Kath, if you do the sheet, right, on these sheets, everything should be there for you, you shouldn't have to write notes. You can do it right on that sheet of paper. He's got who voted, and I think he said he's got it all on there. Do it now.
Yeah. So,
So this says,
you didn't have them sign it, so that's this,
okay, appeal denied,
right, but here,
yeah,
so you write their name here, or what's it, I mean, it doesn't give the car model number on the second page.
so what, it's on the first page, it goes together.
I know, but when I make the minutes, I don't get to take that home, that goes down to the
Oh,
assessment.
all right, then I was trying to make it easier for you. But if you do what you have to do, I was just trying to make it easier.
Well, you're supposed to fill this out. I mean, I can help you, but what would you put here?
Well, he didn't sign it, so,
It doesn't mention the car on the second page, so I put his name and his address there and then deny it?
yeah, I mean, if this whole thing's gonna be filed, then it wouldn't matter if it's not on the back. It's on the front. I mean, it's on the front, so this
They
is,
don't get separated.
well, hopefully they won't. Christopher Sheehan. Appeal denied, right?
Okay, so there's,
Revised clean retail value. We're not revising it.
no, that would only be,
Dated today.
Wait, Christopher Sheehan, that's the Corvette,
so that would,
we did number 3, didn't we?
That was just number 3.
That was just number 3.
That's number 5.
oh, this is number 5.
Got the wrong thing there.
Whatever. Let's vote on that one now. It'll be the same.
Yeah, but we didn't even, that's the.
Number 5
that's
is the Corvette.
That's the Corvette, that's the antique plate.
Right, so on this one, the original value, or the town value, is 58.5, and we write about that, and then they asked for 45, and it was denied.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3.
And then the next Tesla is, let's see,
Number 7.
number 7. And do we know what the town value, the town value is 51,780? That sounds right.
That's the assessed value.
That's the assessed.
I don't know, that's what I have written down there.
Does anybody have the paperwork for 7 to see the back? Page 2 is where usually,
Yes.
where you can get it.
It says value, yes, 51,780. So do you want me
Divide by
to?
0.7, yeah.
51,780 divided by 0.7. So the town has it valued at 73,971.
And if I've got my notes right, he's asking to be reduced to 45,000?
Let me see what I
I
have.
don't know, I'm assuming that was appraised.
If new retail,
42,000, so.
You're right.
Yeah, you have to look at it.
This was at the value, should be closer to the fair market value. It says 38.
It is 38.
38. If we use the new retail of 55, 70% of that is right in the 38,500.
So that's,
Okay, so 55.
55,000 is what he asked?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to, grant number, appeal number 7, whichever Tesla this was, from the, in reducing the town's value from 73,971 to the requested value of 55,000.
All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. did number 3.
I feel like we should phone. I know. We're gonna see.
Jacob Hirsch, right, that was.
Okay, what's the next one?
Number 12.
Health Plus, number 12. Make sure we have the values right.
Because the town has it at 33.5.
I know. He's definitely asking for 26.
I have that.
I'm concerned, that
Yeah.
I got, so we just have to figure out what the town value is.
33.5.
33.5 is the
Mhm.
town? Okay.
Because he said he wanted to take the 7,500 off of what the town.
But that's, if we look at his, do we have his page 2?
We don't, I don't have the.
I only,
page.
somebody has it. Oh, Peter has it. It's here, it's
Okay.
needed a stapler. So you can take
33.5?
33, that's the assessed is 33.570.
Oh, that's the assessed, okay.
Yeah, so give me a sec. 33,570. So is it just, while she's doing that, 47,960.
Yeah. 47,960.
I'll ask it after.
Okay.
Okay, so I will make a motion to, grant appeal number 12 for the Tesla Model 3 and reduce the, town's appraised value from $47,960 to the appellant's requested value of $26,000.
40,460.
All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Joel, what did you want to ask?
I wanted to ask, first of all, you're going to communicate with them directly?
Well, I'm gonna have to send them a letter myself because I see the Genius is downstairs and Bob's asking for their phone number.
Okay.
Or email, so,
And, just, it would be helpful if we could tell them what's happening for next year.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the values are going to be newly published in a new book,
a new
which
format,
will
yeah.
devalue.
Well, next year's gonna be, let me stop a second. Next year's gonna be completely different. Next year's gonna be the MSRP with a 20-year depreciation schedule. So I have no idea what that's gonna look like. They can come back next year, but I have no idea what,
Yeah.
like, I don't wanna tell them, well, it's
Right.
gonna be this
I
system.
forgot
because It's not gonna be that
it.
system.
Right.
Yeah, and whether that depreciation schedule is just standard across the board or it's per the vehicle in the year, you know.
I don't know,
But
right,
it's gonna reflect the MSRP, so.
right. It's gonna reflect,
That's fine.
it's got, I mean, I'm
It's
sure
gonna
that
show
they
a big
will,
reduction.
I'm sure that they'll get a reduction.
Yes.
Because by then, that should be straightened out, like, we
Yeah.
already know it got, I don't think it's gonna go back up.
Right, okay.
The MSRP for the new?
I don't know, that's the thing, I have no idea how they're gonna do it. Most of the time, we're not doing with new cars, so I don't know.
Like, yeah, I know, they're all using it.
Yeah,
Good
For that Tesla, yeah, I know, if it's normal depreciation across all vehicles, then that doesn't take into effect the drastic drop in the Teslas, right, which the not a book it was.
and I can't imagine they would go to the
They
original,
can't mess it up that.
I can't imagine they'd go to the original MSRP, like, from like 10 years ago, and then start depreciating. Now we're at year 10, I doubt that very much.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do. And they're not, they haven't settled yet on it.
Yeah, but either way, they could come back next year because the clear.
Right, they can
market-
come back.
The market clearly affected it.
Yeah, they can come back.
Yeah, okay. All right, got
All right.
3 done.
Okay, so now where are we now? 1 or 2?
Why don't we do one, since it's sort of
Yeah.
semi-fresh in
Yeah,
our
we
minds
were working on
from
that one, so. Okay, number
what
1,
Kathleen was asking withdraw.
number 1 was what? The,
The 2014 Subaru.
Subaru that got destroyed by the tree, yep, okay.
Can I just ask, did she tell us when the tree fell on?
Yes, she did, I don't remember though, let me
I
see
did
here.
not put a note on the year.
2021 damage, neighbors'
Okay.
trees.
Yep, 2021, yep.
I know.
I mean, I find it interesting that Subaru offered to buy it for $2,000. She said that was just
Yeah.
blah, 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 to take it off their hands. She's
Leaking
asking
oil.
for 5.
Yeah, but is that what she think? Oh, that's the fair market value, okay.
Yeah,
Is
she
she
said-
asking for 5 fair market value?
That's what she
5
said
to
she was
7.
asking.
Makes no sense to me, but she wrote it,
5
so,
to 7.
yep, whatever. Did I hear yourself?
I can make a motion to grant it to 5. So what she asked. Anybody has any more discussion or?
I have no discussion. That's what she asked for.
It's leaking oil, the check engine light is on and off, they didn't fix it.
It probably isn't worth even 2, but she said 5, so we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, all right.
And I can make a motion to grant appeal number 1 and reduce the, what's it at, 15,970? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
And reduce the, appraised value from $15,970 to the appellant's requested value of $5,000.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Okay, good.
Next,
Okay, this is the Prius, right? Yeah.
the Prius, yes. All right, now this is
Estimating
what?
that the miles were about 80,000 last year.
Okay, I have 85, but
Okay.
I could be wrong. I guess,
So the value right now is 19,800,
right, he said it was 16.3 the last time,
right,
and now it's 19.8,
right.
so,
Small dent on the side, there's no, right, no issue.
But that's the
with
assessed value, guys,
Right.
not the
Right,
appraised
that's the
value.
assessed,
Because I
yep.
have my notes.
Yep, that's the assessed
23
value.
to
So that brings
28.
it to 27,257.
Yeah, 27, sorry.
What's it at, 27,000?
27,000.
257.
257. And he's saying, what do we have here? Toyota of Westport valued it at 12,700, that was today. And then my notes say January, maybe 15,000.
Yeah,
I-
15.6.
He said it had 85,000 miles on it as of October 2022.
so that's a 6-year-old car
Do you have it? I did not keep my paper.
with 85,000 miles on it.
It's an 8-year-old car. So if we do 12,000, I'm just trying to do
17.
ballparks here. So, right, average is 12,000
Wait a minute, no,
It's
it's
a
a
2017,
2017,
6-year-old car.
6 years old.
2017 minus 2022.
15,000 miles a year, is that?
6-year-old car.
Yeah, but he said 15 to 18
Five?
per year.
Oh, you're right, it would be.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
22.
5
5 years.
years.
5-year-old car,
So isn't the average 12 or 15? What's the
12.
average?
It's high for NADA, but for
It's
NADA,
high.
it's high. They use higher.
So he should have about
60.
5 times
12.
15 would be 75. So he should have between 70 and 75.
But if you do it by,
And he has about 85.
but if you do it by what allowable for dealers is, it's 12. When you lease a car, you don't get 15,000 miles. So they would consider that high mileage. If you brought the car, brought the car back with
Yeah.
50,
Yeah, no,
with
you're right.
70
I just leased my Lexus and I
Yep.
have 15
Yeah,
because I figured I'd put more on.
yeah, but you paid for that, you paid extra, right?
I did.
Yeah, what'd they offer you, 12? No, I mean for mileage,
Starts at 12.
okay. Some of them start at 10
Okay,
now.
so the point is, it's about 15,000, 10 to 15,000 over a
What's the difference between?
average.
I thought you said
So, but to me, if Toyota Westport is offering him 12,700,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how this value could be 27,000.
But as a trade-in, I mean, you know that they're always gonna just
Yeah,
lowball you on the trade-in.
yeah.
2017 Toyota Prius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we, so for, if there's, well, I guess there's maybe not much of a mileage adjustment that he needs, right? He's probably pretty much right at his mileage adjustment.
No, he's got
Mileage.
he's got 103,000 miles, right?
No, 85,000 in October.
Oh, 85 in October, yep, that's true.
Mhm.
So if I do 12 a year, 12 times 5 is 60.
But what is the NADA book?
I don't care what the
Carol,
number
do-
says.
Carol, do you remember, once you look at the Prius,
Uh,
and I know, you go somewhere here, just,
You know, honestly,
is it
without,
class?
I bet it's gonna be $500. I
Right.
swear to God, it's
I
not
think
gonna
you're
be
right.
a lot.
It's based on the class,
I
right?
mean,
And then you
like-
go to the class, yeah. It's not, it's
Not
mileage
do
is
it,
not that
but
off. It's not
it doesn't seem like it's a
200,000 miles.
big, yeah. So NADA does not.
It does not, all right, you said it.
I'm just saying, like, it's probably gonna tell us to knock off
again,
$500.
For 10,000 miles.
right, and if we're only using that, that's the number we're gonna get, because they're not gonna tell you to take any more off. But if you did that on another site, you'd find that you'd get more off.
Website too.
It's not 10,000 though, it's actually, are you saying are we saying it's 12,000 is the average, that's 60. So it's probably more than that. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's 15,000 off. It's regardless to me because it seems very high.
Mhm.
If the Kelly's appraisal is 13,900, I also have that note. Kelly's appraisal right now says 13,900. And I have January with 15,000. So,
What does he have, 85,000 miles?
correct.
85,000. But so if he has 85,000 miles, and he has a 2017 vehicle, NADA takes off 550.
Okay.
If it's a class 1, right?
You're right.
If I'm reading this right, you go to the class, and then you go to the mileage, and it's $550, assuming it's a class 1 vehicle.
Why do I have Kelly's appraisal of 13,900? I mean, this is such a huge difference. It's like.
That's what I'm telling you, they're way too high, but people don't, that's the system they use, there's no, what are you gonna do?
And I'll make my point that I do every time we do this, but, all the other Priuses in town are being taxed similarly.
But I appreciate that, however, I don't care, because they didn't come here, he did. If it's wrong,
I know.
if
but we
it's
just-
wrong,
we
then
just
should we not, we shouldn't correct it because he showed up here. You know what I mean, like, he shows up saying it's wrong.
No different than the, real estate.
Same thing with real estate, one person comes, does that mean we shouldn't give it to him because he's the only one smart enough to come in here and ask for something? No one asked.
I'm trying to find that J.D. Power link in here, here it is.
On the website?
It's just, it's so hard because it's such a discrepancy.
And, and
We're
that's,
not talking about 5,000,
yeah,
we're
and
talking
the other
about-
thing is, I have a serious problem with that thing on the website, now that I know what it is.
Almost 15,000 now, I think.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
I mean, the other part is that if everybody in town is on the same playing field, the mill rate or whatever, however the taxes are going, it'll just kind of move, similarly for everybody else, right?
No.
Oh, here we go.
The value's higher, the grand list is gonna be higher, the mill rate's gonna be lower, 'cause the taxes are different.
No.
So, Carol, am I right that he said, so he's saying that in January, he did the Kelly, and he came out to 15,600?
That's what I have. January was 15K. I mean, again, my notes are sketchy here. Kelly's appraisal, 13,900. And it was serviced for a Toyota, today or yesterday, at 12,700.
And he's asking for what, the Kelly? No.
What is he asking for?
12.7 or
He's
the
asking-
13.9 or?
That's a good question.
I see the Kelly value
Where
today
is
at
he?
13.9.
Appeal.
He's asking for 12,700.
12.7, that's what I have.
12.7 the
12.7.
dealer, yeah,
Which is what Westport Toyota valued it at.
right.
What about taking like a weighted average?
I'm okay with that. I'd be willing to hear what those numbers are.
Well, I don't know what the third value is, but we could do a weighted average of, the Kelly Blue Book, estimate it, and this J.D. Powers one with the 550 knocked off.
Okay,
I
what
don't
is it?
know, I mean,
It's worth a try, let's see what it
it's in
is.
the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in the middle. If we're 15,000 off, I can do it in my head, it's like 7,500. Lower. Right? 'Cause that's half of, I mean, I'll do the
Yeah.
hard math if you
That
want.
brings us around 20,000.
Correct,
Yeah, okay.
correct.
Yeah, I had already done that on a piece of paper, thinking maybe that was 20,000 versus 27,000. And considering the fact that he was offered, what did we say, 12,000?
Right. And honestly, that sounds about right, because when I was a couple
I think
thousand
I'd be
off from
okay
the
with
dealer to what I ended up getting.
Yeah.
Not, they weren't off by 5,000, they were off by a couple thousand.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes sense, that if we say it's about, what are we saying, 15,000? And they're
Yeah.
offering 12,700.
No, we're
We said
saying
20, didn't we?
Oh, 20,000, I'm sorry, right.
And they're
They're
offering
offering
12,
12,700 now.
right.
So a year ago, it would have been, I don't know, 14? Oh, I mean,
We can only guess.
I don't know.
I think
Well,
that'd be okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to,
Wait, I have one
Oh, go ahead.
question. He said the value increased by $6,000 from one year to the next. Is that right?
It's about right, let's see.
he's talking assessment, I think.
Assessed value. So
Wait a
the
minute.
value of the vehicle actually went up almost more than $10,000 in 1 year. So I'm wondering,
Yeah,
I'm gonna call, I would just wanna,
you're asking like why?
it sounds like a lot, and I'm just wondering if there was something different with his, is that typical for Priuses in general, that they went up that much? According to NADA, without diving into the book.
Yeah. I wouldn't think that would, now, I could be wrong. I wouldn't think that would be a car that would be so desirable that it would go up that
That would
much.
go by $10,000.
That's a lot of money in a year.
That's what I feel like, but they see them all the time. So if it's okay, I'm either gonna call him or go down and ask him to come up and.
Oh, please invite him back.
Maybe it's,
Before I say no, because normally.
could there be a glitch in the whole, like, a little market blip because it was a hybrid? Could it have been a blip like that? Oil prices skyrocketed and hybrids became more sexy all of a sudden?
Not to me. How many miles you get to the gallon?
On my Lexus? I don't know.
You know how many I get?
I get about maybe, was 19 maybe?
You know what I get?
What,
13.
13?
I'm constantly at the gas station.
Oh, yeah. I'm leasing it. I'm gonna go to a hybrid next time for sure. Or not hybrid,
But I enjoy every one of those 13 miles.
well, I've been pushing really hard on the brake because that shuts the whole thing down.
Oh, I turned off that thing where you can,
But it improves your gas mileage. It's an economy setting.
I have the thing set on sport mode. I don't even know if it works on that mode.
Get off of sport mode. Put it on economy mode. How fast do you need to go from 0 to 60?
3 seconds. Somebody asked me that and I said, it's because I can.
We're gonna look it up. I just put him on speaker. 'Cause he's
Okay.
he's not here.
Oh, okay.
You always look it up because sometimes people's, recollection isn't accurate.
Of the Prius. Okay, so we can look, where do we look up his tax bill from last year?
You may have to go in and look it up as a tax bill.
Oh, I know how to do that, so. But in general, did anything happen between 21
I'm
and
going to the
22 with the
restroom.
Priuses in the market?
And
that
if I
they
jump
would
out the
go up
window
that
here,
much?
don't bother me.
Did anything happen in the market with used Priuses?
Say yes or no.
Okay.
So I just looked up on our website, JD Power, and I put in all the specs.
Oh, God, yeah?
Yeah, 22.
Oh, did I probably stole it from you? Did you find his tax bill?
This thing.
Yeah, but I just did it on our website, and that's what it's coming out to,
Now, for now.
for now.
But we're putting the mileage from last year.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, you're right, I did do it. Yeah, 85. Yep.
Not showing up, oh, it's last name, first initial or something? What the heck? Yep.
I don't know how to do this, I mean, this is like. And then trade into a dealer is What do you say?
Well, you had a supplemental bill in 16, motor vehicle.
Too much time spent on this. But I mean, if the public uses GD Power link and puts in the mileage for October, that should
Right.
be.
I agree. Yeah, tax bill is not available for this bill. So I'm looking at the 2021 bill, but the dollar amount on the bill is not, I've got the right car. Right, I'm looking for the bill that starts with 2021.
Right.
Okay, for the year before.
That would be last year.
Okay. And so the dollar amount was $444.28. That's what his tax bill was. This year, his tax bill is $524,900.
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, the mill rate last year was 26.98,
Do you want me to do the math?
or 27.25.
Actually, I pulled it in and out.
So the tax bill went up by, from $444.28 to $524.90.
440?
$444.28 was his bill in '21. And then this year, his bill was $524.90. I don't know if there's a way to see what his assessed value, a 2017 Toyota Prius. I don't know if there's another way to see what his appraised value was, or you can't, right? It's not gonna show it.
Well, if you pull up if you go online, you can pull up a PDF copy of the bill.
Yeah, it told me it wasn't available, but maybe I'm clicking in the wrong place. View original tax bill, maybe it's not that. Download the PDF, let's see. There it is. No idea where it went. Do you want to share with everyone what you just did?
So I just, went on the link, on our town website and put in all the specs for the Toyota Prius Prime
Just downloaded, but now I have no idea where it went on my computer.
2017, 85,000 miles, and
It doesn't just open.
No,
Yeah, usually.
on my laptop it doesn't. Earlier this year, a long time ago, yes. Where did it go? Bill.
I was thinking,
Probably my own tax bill.
This is so painful. It is. We don't need to. I don't even think I should have a bill. Yeah.
Yeah, I just called it was my own tax bill. It's opened up.
Well, that's good, you didn't.
That I had downloaded, so I don't know.
One of you
It's
wanna
gonna take me a
sign
minute to find it, but I guess her question was there anything that, it didn't go into my download folder, I don't know where it went when it went to my computer, but, nothing specific you know of that was, remember one year the trucks were extraordinary, right?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years, we've seen used cars.
But not to go up by $10,000 in value. He said the assessed value went up by $6,000 or something.
Some of those.
So that's why I was looking.
I'm gonna have a pen. I've been typing everything, I'm taking notes on the computer.
Assessed went up 3,000. Okay. And so that, if we back the tax. Okay.
I just did looked on the town website.
And?
And,
Okay, not 6,000. Okay. All right, just the amount sounded,
put in Toyota Prius Prime,
yeah.
2017,
Okay, I think that's good.
85,000 miles.
Thank you.
And up to 22,550.
All right.
Here, do you wanna do a
Yeah.
couple of them?
And that was from what? That was from that NADA site, or that JD Power
The
site?
link on our website, yeah.
Okay, so but that's as of today, remember?
Oh, 85,000 miles.
It does it today, but it says.
Or you did it based on, okay.
Here.
Mileage,
All of these?
yeah.
Some of them made it.
So,
Wait, this is one whole file, right? So those are two. I signed two.
He was assessed at
So let's not
16,310,
make this a federal case, let's get going.
so that was the difference. It went from 16,310 to whatever his new assessed value is, 19,080.
Already missed two matches if you were hoping that I was hoping to.
So he went up by $3,000, not 6,000 assessed.
Okay.
So that's probably, that sounds about right.
Okay, where are we, folks?
I don't know. Where are we?
well, we had already talked about
The mileage?
20,000, but then I just went on the NADA website, link on our town website and put in all the specs with his 85,000 mileage, and it came out to 22,550, just FYI.
Okay,
So in my opinion, we're probably somewhere around the 20,000, 22,000.
okay. All right, so you want to make a motion, Lee? Move this puppy along?
He's in
Let's walk this dog.
Seven. Carol, are you okay with 22,000 or?
Yeah.
All right, still higher even if we split it, the difference. All right, I make a motion, this is for appeal number 2, make a motion that we, grant the, Cullen in part, he's asking for 12,700. I make a motion that we grant him, a reduction from 27,257 down to 22,550.
It was 27, I didn't hear that number.
The town has him at
Oh, okay. All right.
27,257, and
Okay,
we would go to 22,550.
okay.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
I'm opposed.
Just so you know, Kathleen, I don't know if you heard Helene say that came off the website, that number she just came up with.
I know, I'm just, that's how I do it. I do the mileage adjustments and the damage adjustments. Unless there's something outrageous, I prefer to keep all the Priuses in town taxes. That's just how I feel. I feel if someone else has to pay that tax on their Prius, that he should have to pay it.
But maybe,
Or else we ask all the Prius owners to come in and
Yeah,
say, we'd
maybe.
like to, come in.
Yeah,
We feel
maybe.
Priuses are really bad and we're happy to give you a break, but
I mean, maybe it's wrong. If it's wrong, then
yeah, I
we
would have
shouldn't
given them
all
a
pay.
mileage adjustment of,
Okay,
whatever the
well,
mileage
whatever,
was,
that's,
but not,
that's your right, vote the way you think,
Yeah.
you should. I disagree, but that's just me.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
That would be the Land Cruiser, right? Appeal number 4.
Let's see, yeah.
I have really good notes on this one. The 2015 Land Cruiser.
Oh, I have.
Oh, yeah, that was, the gentleman with the deep tan that, he waited a long time.
Yeah.
He seemed impatient.
Don't blame him.
Let's see.
he says he's at 52,770, is that accurate?
That's what I have.
Oh, here it is, 52,
And that's
770. Yep. He has 140,000 miles?
Number 4.
Is that what he said?
I have 140,000 year ago, 20.
Yeah.
Yep, 2022, and it's a 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's what, 7 years old?
7 years.
So 7 times 12,
Mm-hmm.
everybody,
Yeah.
is, what, 84?
Seven
Forgot my
times-
12 table.
5 is 60, 6 is 72, 84. 84. So he's got 100, wow, that's a lot.
So he should be at about 84,000.
Right.
He's at 140,000.
Yep.
So he's got massive,
He's got a lot over.
a lot of miles.
Yep.
I mean,
The 2015 Land Cruiser,
Yes.
and that's a Class 1?
Hey, Helene,
Yeah,
you can plug in those things again?
I,
Okay.
yeah, it's a little slower on my phone here, but.
Plug away. No, I have, oh, never mind.
Body type SUV. Land Cruiser, okay. Mileage, 140,000.
This book takes $2,150 off for the mileage, the Class 1. And he's asking for $42,450, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, and it's funny, because that's exactly what it is on the website, 42,000.
Right, where he got it from.
425, yeah. Oh. I kind of like that link on the website, kind of gives you I don't understand why ours is higher, I still don't understand it. VIN numbers, I mean, that 52,000 that's coming from, where do you say it comes from? The state.
State, from NADA.
Minus another two.
But I mean,
Howard
it's
State.
different than the link on the,
And the website's current value, right? Or is it?
This website is current value, he said.
it's 140,000 miles, yeah.
Right.
But yes, that is current
Current
value.
value, not October 22.
No, 140,000 miles.
Right, but
Which
the
is not-
value on the website that the website is giving you is the current year, value today, not a year ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is when I said to him, well, why do we have it? Because people
Exactly,
could
I
get
agree.
confused.
Yeah.
And then I got the snide comment, so I'll deal with him later.
But it also, if it were current, you would use today's mileage, not the mileage from 2022.
That's true, but then how do we get to that value for October 2022? What does it say the value is now, Helene? Just curious.
Well, let me have to go
It's
back.
like 50,000,
Hold-
taking
hold on.
22,000 off.
All right, what is the mileage right now? Did you say?
50,000.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, no, his mileage was I have his mileage as of then. It was
Yeah, he
140.
gave us.
He didn't give us, I didn't get it if he gave it, so.
Oh,
So he did, his mileage now was 149, he said he put about
Oh,
9,000 miles on it.
So, I guess, yeah, I'm confused now too, because his appraised value was 52,770 by the town, am I right?
Yes,
And now that this website is telling us now, right now today, it's 50,000, so it's a
yeah,
little
it's
bit
less
less.
than last year, because it's
Yeah.
older.
And I'm saying it's 41.6 with 149,000 miles.
Mhm.
So that extra
41.6?
you're saying that extra
That's what it said.
9,000 really didn't do much? Huh.
So we're basically talking about a difference of $10,000.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the car, he said, no stories to tell, right?
Mhm. He did say that.
So you're saying that the thing you entered says 42,425, is that what you just said?
when you entered it as 140,000 miles.
Yeah,
But that's based on today.
right. And then if I put in the mileage now, 149,000, it came out to 41 something.
41.
But last year was worth more.
Right.
Right, and that makes sense, because used cars were really, really high last year, and they're coming down. So that makes sense that it's a lot lower now, but if you back that out, you're gonna have to take the time value, right, back into the market in October 2022, which is what everybody's being taxed on.
And what does the book
Really
say?
high value.
What does the book say?
Book says give them $21.50 off for mileage,
Off of what?
off of the, whatever you tax.
52,
off of
7
So bring them down to like 50,000, yeah. That's what the book says.
Okay, so between October of 2022 and now, which is,
His car dropped in value by $10,000 according to NADA. Because of the market, the used cars, right, right now, the cars are in production again, things are happening, but, you know, we're valuing, the town is valuing everybody as of October 2022, and what the used car market looks like. So,
what does Kelly say it's worth?
I know, that's the thing I don't know. I like the other one in my head because I was able to do a weighted average, but now I don't know what to do with this one. I guess we could enter it.
Yeah, put it in.
I mean, I can make a motion to give him the mileage deduction based on the book. That's not gonna be supported in.
Nah, I'm not gonna support that, maybe somebody else will.
I'm struggling to get internet, but I can try now. Kelly.
Yeah, if you wanna do it on my phone, you can.
Oh, I have it now.
Okay. So that is a 2015, right?
Check my car's value, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, make, model, give me the information, please, and I'll enter it right now.
I don't know what it is, I know
2015.
2015, what was that?
Toyota Land Cruiser.
Who makes the Land Cruiser?
Toyota.
Toyota.
We're gonna have trouble doing it because we don't know what the features are.
Oh.
See, and what does that book, here's the other thing, what does that book take into account? Like, that book takes into account what? The NADA book. Like, we're looking up a value, okay? But does it say it's got blah, 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 or does it, you don't know?
For the mileage, it doesn't matter, it's the class.
Okay.
Class 01, this vehicle, according to the assessor's office, is a class 1. And for a car, a 2015 class 1 vehicle with 140,000 to 149,000 miles, the mileage adjustment is $21.50.
So the class 1 must be the model.
A lot of, well, no, it's just, it's a very
The features
generic
in the
class.
model.
Almost all of the cars we're seeing today are class 1.
Well, that can't be.
Probably special cars or higher-end cars may be different than that, but that's the mileage adjustment that's in the.
Okay, but as far as the value of the car, if you took that Land Cruiser and another Land Cruiser that might both be category 1s or whatever, with similar mileage, but one's loaded and the other one's stripped, how do you know that they're the right value?
I mean, you just take the, I don't know.
It's in the VIN
Wear
number.
and tear on the car.
It's in the VIN number.
He said it's in the, that's what I was
Well, how do
asking.
they do it? It's in the VIN number.
So, okay, so you put the VIN number in,
52,770 comes from the VIN.
so, and that tells you what everything is in the car. Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Power number.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. All
I
right.
put in, the 2015 Toyota Land Cruiser. This is in the Kelly Blue Book. Said 52,995. A good price.
And it says it's gonna calculate it in the
And what-
24 hours.
What condition is that, Peter?
How did you get
Actually, let me just take a look at
that? Oh, here it is, I got a trade-in.
and that's what they're selling it at Toyota Westport for. There's another one here. With a lot less miles. That's for 51,900.
I mean,
I got
What
a
are we
trade-in
gonna
value
do?
of 33 is the highest.
That's a trade.
yeah, that's
So the trade-in value would be lower.
clean retail.
But that's 33, and this is 50.
I put in the next lower from excellent condition.
Okay.
So I put very good,
All right, that's probably what
at
clean is.
140,000 miles.
Okay, and it's 33 and change.
That's the highest.
Okay, yet this one is 52,
Ugh, God.
and it can't, and that's a trade-in, so it's different, but it can't be a $20,000 difference on a trade-in.
I don't know,
Usually
what
a
do you guys,
$2,000.
what do you guys wanna do? So we can just move forward,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, just decide, I suggested my motion, doesn't sound like I'm gonna get support for that, so.
Yours was just.
Mine would be take the to just give them a mileage adjustment of 2150, that was what I would that's what I would do. If not, you guys can decide on a number and make a motion and, because we got, it's already 8 o'clock, I'm getting really
totally
hungry,
agree
I
with
haven't
you.
been home
I
yet
know.
today.
Yeah, I haven't eaten either.
Yeah.
I drove up from South Jersey.
Can you just tell me what it was again when you did for today's value with the miles?
With the 140,000? It was, 42
42.
it's just a hair off of what he's asking.
Right, based on now.
Right.
I mean, do you want to
Split
split
the
the difference
difference?
again?
I could do that.
So she's saying
47,000.
50, we're saying, not we, the thing, other thing is saying
50,
43, so.
43, 7.
47,000?
Yeah, about 47,000.
I could do that.
All right, so if somebody wants to make a motion, make it, because we need to move on. Like Kathleen said, we got more to do.
I make a motion to grant in part to, revise the appraised value to 47,000.
All in favor? Motion carries 3-2. Next,
I'm opposed.
yeah, we got that, yep. And Peter, I think.
Peter's opposed?
Peter, yes, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see his hand
if
up.
anybody's listening, they'll know who the, those were.
Okay. Hello out there on TV, huh?
And what was the, what, in part to what was the dollar?
47.
47,000.
Okay. Now we're at appeal,
5, which is an antique car. Do we want to skip the antique cars for now?
Well, this one I think is easy because he was asking for antique status, but his car's not 20 years old.
We bought it in 2003.
Yeah, it's 2003 car, so.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not 20 years old.
Wait a minute, it's 2003, right? Isn't
Yeah.
this
Not
2000?
20 years old.
Oh, it's
It is
before, it
now,
had to be
it
before.
wasn't last
Yep,
year.
that wasn't last
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Okay, yep.
And he bought it in April of 2023.
Okay, so let's do that one then and move it along then.
So I'll make a motion to, grant the appeal to, I don't even know what's the,
To evaluate,
to an assessed value of $500, right?
Yep,
Okay.
okay. All in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Unanimous. Next.
That's the easiest at assessed. I don't even, what is it appraised? 7 something? Probably done that before. Kathy, just to make it easy for you, let me just, give me one sec. Was it 500? 7. Would have been $715 or something appraised.
Okay.
But I think whatever you want to do.
Next.
That was number 5, right?
Mhm.
Number 6,
Was 2009 Corolla.
Oh, that lady, yeah.
zip tie holding the front tires
Yep.
together.
Yeah.
Her mileage was 118,000 on a 2009 Toyota.
so.
Where's the other?
She's got a baby, but
She's not, yes, it's not old enough. Okay, and hers was,
She purchased it in 2008.
right, she was the original owner. Let's
I think she probably has lower mileage, because it's 14 years old.
She's got
Right,
150.
got less than 10,000 miles
What's
a year.
14 times 12, somebody?
Or even times 10 is 114,000.
That's 2009, that car?
2009, yep.
Yeah, so she's got great miles.
Yeah, she said she puts about 5,000 miles a year on it, so I have in my.
But it's got a lot of I
Never
had body
been
damage,
garaged.
a few accidents, fender bender, banged it out, another side driver hit her.
And the
that was
town
it,
has her at
And a zip tie, blah, blah, blah.
150, that's her right there.
Yep.
So, my notes say she was asking, somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500.
Town has her at 7,360, does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I have
I have-
5150.
Yeah, that's the assessed, yeah.
Okay.
What was her mileage?
118,000 in October 2022, she said.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually 13, not 14, Captain.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to 2022. She purchased it in 2008, but, yeah. Town has her at 7,360.
515.
You plugging that in again?
She's requesting 3,000 or so, remember? Is that what she said?
3,000.
Maybe 3,000. She didn't really know.
Why do I have 3,500 as well?
So she was,
Didn't she have a
Well, I
range
thought
on
she
it
said
from like
3,000
3,000 to?
5,000, yeah.
She
3,000
said she
to-
plugged it in somewhere, because why do I have the quote saying fairly good condition? So she must have entered that.
She entered it somewhere.
I
It
think
should
she-
be with her paperwork. It
Base
might have been Kelly
model.
Blue Book.
Stock car, bumps and bruises, not garage. 123,000 miles now. So
What do
yeah,
you
she
get
estimated
there?
118.
It doesn't, it's really not relevant because it doesn't show all of the damage and everything,
Okay,
you know,
just out of curiosity,
9,000,
9.
yeah.
And that has to do with her miles. She's low on miles, but she's high on accidents. And what's the town number?
7370?
7357,
7360, everyone.
yeah.
I don't know how to assess everything you need to. What do you think?
You know, and every car is different, so, and maybe mine's in a different class. I didn't look it up, so I don't know, but just as an example, I have a 2008 Saab convertible. And that, I think my taxes on that were like, really low. Like, I don't even know if they were $1,100 or $1,200 on that car. I can't remember for sure, I can't say for sure, but it was like, it wasn't that bad, because on the other car, it's huge, and I was looking at them together. But,
Taxes or assessed value?
the assessed value, yes. Well, no, the tax is what I paid. So I think I paid about, I don't know, if I paid $1,500, I would say that's a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know how that relates.
But-
Not on that car, though, not a 2009 Saab.
No, 2008 Saab convertible. Yeah, it's
That
really
much in
cheap.
taxes? That's
What?
not cheap.
Well, it's cheap considering what well, when you look at the other car at like, I don't even know how much that is. It's a lot, it's cheap, but
Maybe you have maybe it's in there.
I have a convertible, but
Oh, okay.
what I'm thinking is like, if
That's not what she pays in taxes. Her taxes are a lot lower than that. That's just her rate,
mhm.
her tax, so.
Anyway, what was the
She
point?
said she's paying $141.
$141 a year?
That's all she's paying?
Yeah.
Oh, but it was 104.
Right.
That's what she's complaining about. It was 104 the last time, and now it's 100. I'm not sure I understand. Did anybody ask you? No. Shut up. So she's complaining because it went up.
Well, the mill rate went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And used cars.
You know, though, I mean, I don't want to argue about it, but when you say used cars went up, not every used car went up. A car like this, a 2009 used car with 100 and something thousand miles on it, stripped down, is not going to be a big seller.
Yeah.
Based on the NADA book, I should say, they went up. It went from
I'm sure they did.
130 in 2021 was her tax bill, and it went up to 141, so whatever that value would be.
I mean, any Toyota, I'm gonna just tell you, any Toyota I've ever had goes 200,000 plus miles, right? So she's got 118, even though it's I mean, my daughter's driving around in a 99 Camry and, you know, it's got 170,000 still,
Yeah, I mean, I
Or
might
like
give her
kids.
something off for the zip tie, but,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I'm not
I mean, it's not in good shape, yeah.
There's lots of maybe value on it this side.
I mean, you could look up, damage or whatever.
Well, I guess you'd have to look
Pothole.
at, you'd have to look at, like, what does it cost to really fix that? And then how does that affect the value? Like, what does that mean in the value of the car? And I don't know.
I think it's worth less than $5,000, but.
All right, do you want to,
So
can
do
I
I.
make a motion to reduce it to $5,000?
Too many things.
I could do 5,000.
Okay, I'll make a motion to grant the appeal in part and reduce the appraised
What did she
value
want it to
from
go to?
$7,360 to $5,000.
Looks like in between.
Oh,
That's my motion.
all in favor? Whatever. Unanimous.
Okay.
In favor.
Honestly, if there weren't all these dingities and accidents and things falling out, it would be completely different,
Yeah,
Because she's got good miles, but it's
we low mileage.
destroyed by something that's being held by a zip tie.
I can get it. That's why I say I wouldn't pay $5,000 for a car that's being held together by a zip tie.
But it's been several years with the zip tie.
Then I don't think I would buy that car anyway, but that's.
We already did number 7, we're now on number 8, which is Emily Vargas with the
Myself better than that.
antique motor vehicle, the Honda CRV.
Oh, the Honda CRV. Where was that? What number was that?
Number
12?
8.
Number 8. Number 8. I got it. Number 8. Okay.
So Ross said that she submitted her paperwork for the
Yeah.
classic, designation?
In July, I have.
No, she filled it out in July,
Yeah.
but when she left here, we told her to go downstairs.
Right, you said, and he said
Yeah.
she turned it in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see any reason why we can't grant that to her.
I was under the impression he was almost like agreeing. with what
Yeah.
she-
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because,
Because the car, in fact, was old,
Right.
right? It's not
Yeah.
like, you're trying to argue
Yeah.
I
something.
think this
or-
is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Woo-hoo.
I'll make a motion to grant the appeal and reduce the appraised value, assessed value to $500.
All in favor? Unanimous. Next.
Number 9 was the Jaguar. And they were here last year, it was just the other owner was
Oh,
here
okay.
last year with this Jaguar. And they did get a slight reduction last year. I called up the minutes.
Okay. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah,
The other woman was here last time. It wasn't her.
that's right.
What? Whatever.
So, yeah, she had 2 cars last year, 2018, and the 19 Jaguar. And I believe last year, I don't remember, one of them had been in an accident.
It was a Jag, I think, that was in the accident.
Okay,
Yeah, the
this
Jaguar-
vehicle,
Sideswiped.
Right.
And it took 2 months to get repaired because of the,
but it was
but
outside
that
of
was
the time
June,
frame.
no, it's June of 2022.
Which is what she
Right,
said
but
tonight.
last year she brought it in,
Oh,
and
it
she
was-
couldn't look at it because the
Oh, I'm
accident
sorry.
Was before.
too late, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay,
But now they have,
It was after,
yeah.
I mean
so that's
after,
a
yeah.
pretty big deal,
But they've also fixed it.
right.
Yeah, but that is a pretty big
But
deal.
that's a big deal. Okay, where are we?
Last year, we reduced it from 55.5 to 51. It was not unanimous.
Okay.
And am I right, she's saying she's wanting 30 or 35?
She's saying Kelly Blue Book is 25.6 basically, to
She's
29.
asking 30,000.
So
30,000.
she's saying 30.
So she's saying 30 and we're at,
And we're at 230, is that right?
Well, no, according,
I thought you said 50.
oh wait, what is this?
Last year, that's
Last
what
year.
we did. Oh,
Yeah, but right now, it's saying her assessed value is 35,230.
Okay, so divide that by 7, that's the.
Right, so that's 50,329.
Okay, 50,000,
35, 230.
Didn't she come with paper, or paper
Three-
that said?
three-
So 50,000.
330.
Didn't she come with some other piece of paper about somebody offering her that or something? Was it a Kelly Blue Book or a dealer or something? There was something else she had. Where's her appeal, Kath?
Her mileage is very low, she's at 10,000 miles.
Where's the rest of it? There's nothing here?
I remember this car, because it sat on the lot for a long time, so it was, even though it's a 2019, they didn't buy it until like 2021. Does that sound right? If you look at her cover page.
I don't remember if that's what it says. I don't remember from last year.
Yeah, she bought it in 21.
Yeah, but it's a 2019, it was new, and it just sat on the lot for 2 years when they bought it. Acquired in 2021, but we didn't ask her if it was new or used. So,
Okay.
I mean, the mileage, she said October 2022, the mileage was 10,500, does that sound right?
Yep.
It only has 10,000 miles on it.
Value to try to gauge this puppy?
See what,
I mean, with that low mileage on it,
that's.
I don't know that I can do anything.
Very low
looking for?
Almost like brand new.
Yeah,
This
the
is
mileage
number
is so low.
9. Yep, this one.
Yeah.
There it is. Wait, she's got something here. Let's see what she's got.
2,328? For the plate now? Oh, because
Yeah, the
we
Kelly, well, that's the trade-in value, so it would be higher.
reduced her to 51 last year.
The trade-in is between, her trade-in value is 30,273.
What is that? A Jaguar what? 5-pace or an S-pace?
But that was trade-in. Now, if you put this in Kelly Blue Book and used clean retail, it would be a different number.
I think, have the cover sheet.
But I don't know what that number is.
S-Pace, I think. She asked for between 25 and 29.
Then she said 30.
Oh, 30, right, right.
With an
Yeah,
accident.
Oh, you wanna look this one up?
Jaguar with an
You
accident.
wanna look that one up? All the information is on it. See what Kelly Blue Book says the clean retail is, not the trade-in. The trade-in's too low. She's going by a trade-in value. We can't do that.
Yeah, but that's all I got too.
When you put it in there, you should be able to, when you put in like,
I can't even find an S-pace.
No, it's
I-Pace, I'm sorry,
I-Pace.
I-Pace.
Oh, I-Pace. Oh.
So here,
So they did repair it
she's looking for the classic.
because it was hard to get
What do
the
I
parts.
put here? The clean retail value?
No permanent damage.
what was this, there's no such thing as clean retail value with these.
Okay.
Because
so
it's
then-
just,
but-
that,
and-
she gets that designation if she,
But she's not asking for it here, so how do we let the assessor know that that's what?
What is the
That's-
type of
what
this
is-
car again?
I-Pace,
Okay,
another
gotcha,
class
gotcha,
one,
gotcha,
so.
gotcha. And
With that low mileage, it's probably gonna
It
come.
was 10,000?
What is it?
Yeah, that's like a
Jaguar.
brand new car.
Because of
it's not antique. It's not an antique car, it's
the 2019.
So I'm looking at cars on, this is the Kelly Blue Book, like sales, so, talking about like
you make it a
$30,000
classic
for
designation.
cars with 40,000
The
miles.
next page, I'll write that
Mhm.
there.
I mean, it's
About $100,000.
hard to say because even under the S-Pace, there's 3 or 4 designations.
Well, she's got, what do you have on that? Let me
But I
check.
mean, there's the first
I'll tell you what it
edition,
is. I'll tell you what
there's
she
the.
put in. She put in that it was the I-Pace, 2019 I-Pace style EV 400 SE. Sport utility, 4-door.
S-E?
SE. Sport utility, 4-door.
Oh, F-E, does that mean first edition?
No, S as in
Oh,
Sam,
S,
E.
oh, all right.
So with the low mileage, the Not a Book bumps her up $23.75 for 2019 with between 10,000 and 15,000 miles. You would add $23.75 to her value.
Jeez.
SE means sort of expensive.
Yeah, I'm not getting that on
Hold
Nava.
on, I'm almost there.
Okay. Carol's looking it up. So I can see. C for cheap, E for expensive.
Okay, the highest I have, again, traded is 35.
But
So it's from
Kelly
30.
usually
I
gives you like clean,
don't get that from,
I mean, on the,
it usually says like what you can
and I
expect to
put very
pay.
good, not excellent, because of the
What does
accident.
it give it?
A high of 35
Okay, and that's what she,
for trade-in.
what does she have here?
And what if we approved it last year?
We gave her, it was not unanimous, it was 4-2. The old value was 55.5, and we reduced her to 51,000.
To 51.
So we took $4,500 off last.
So, to 50, so it's a 50, okay, so now it's at 51.
Right, and now she's at,
So basically, all we're saying is that there's been an accident between then and now.
That's correct.
Is that right?
And she still has very low mileage.
Right, she's barely any miles.
Right.
Still, I don't know who.
Definitely not, in my opinion, she's definitely not 30,000.
No, she's not 30.
No. And she's asking for 30.
It's one of the later ones, let me see what.
I mean, I don't know, out of the mileage in the accident, you know, and she fixed everything, it was 20,000. It took a long time, but that's because she had to get the parts. She didn't actually say, and there were sensors, she got rear-ended, so.
You know, there's really no way for us to know this value, but there is a decrease when the car's been in an accident.
That I know.
That's definite, although I don't know what that is.
Does it offset the
I don't know.
mileage?
It could, it might be more, it might be less, I have no way of knowing,
Right, so what are we gonna do?
but it's possible.
To me, I'd just knock probably a couple thousand off where it was,
Yeah,
because
because I don't know, I mean,
And when I put it in the town website, it came out to 41,000
what I would suggest she do,
with the 10,000 mileage.
41,000? Give it to her then.
and then, you don't know, is it a good condition or is it very?
Well, I remember looking at that car last year, it was in, now that was a year ago, it was in pretty good condition, I mean, it's just, you could see where the accident happened, they've had it since fixed, I guess, but it was, it wasn't all right, it wasn't like
very
a
good.
huge thing, it was, I would call that very good condition.
Right.
Yeah, they put 4,000 miles on it since last year. It's now at 15,900, and it was at 10,500.
What about
So they've
45?
They
Yeah,
put 4,500 miles on it, so it hasn't had a lot of.
What's this guy, right, the guy that had the picture?
What about giving like a $5,000 adjustment considering the fact that it's been in an accident? And, you know.
Are you gonna go up 2,500 per mile?
No.
I mean, the fact that it has had an accident like that makes a difference. So what is that number? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's been in
And
an
I remember
accident,
she said they got
but it's
side-
barely been driven. I don't know. It's very subjective, once again.
Yeah, it is subjective,
All right, what are we gonna do?
like most appraisals. I don't know, what did you come up with?
Well,
What does the town site come up with, 41?
the nada, if I put that in, it came up to 41,100, but I still think that's,
Might be a little low.
I think it's too low, yeah. And I mean, for considering that it had, sideswiped and had an accident, and that's forever gonna affect the resale value of the car, maybe it's 45, I don't know.
I just wrote down 45 on my paperwork.
You what?
I just wrote 45 down on my paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, I can
And
do
you're not
that.
bumping it up for low mileage?
I don't know.
Take 2,500 bucks off or whatever, I don't know.
I'm not gonna bump it up, in my mind, I'm not gonna bump it up because I have no idea what the difference is because of that accident, how much it really how much it really matters.
So you're saying like 47,500, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge adjustment.
Honestly, I could go either way.
Yeah,
I could-
I just think that
I mean, it's.
probably need to
it's
make a
got
decision
be-
because there's no clear answer.
Let's do 47.5.
Let's do that. I can do that. It's very low mileage.
Yeah, I think the miles actually are a big deal.
It's actually hurting them.
Okay, all right. Let's hear a motion.
All right, I make a motion for appeal number 9, that we grant this in part from, the town's valuation of 50,329 down to 47,500. All in favor? Aye.
Unanimous.
Oh, we have one left.
I thought we were done. One left, okay.
We have two left.
11, did we do these ones?
Oh, we have
yet?
2 left.
Oh, my God. Let's pick up the pace, guys.
Okay, so can I just say this before we start deliberating this guy? This is the Scott Braglia, who came in. I have no problem giving him his car falls in the category, but he hasn't submitted the paperwork for the classic. And he said so, he hasn't submitted it, he knows he has till December or something. So I think we have to deny it, but can we just make a contingency vote to say if he gets his paperwork in, if he gets the 500 assessment.
Is this the Honda Civic?
This is the Honda Civic, yep.
Yeah.
Does, now, I know,
I would do it the other way.
I know the assessor wants him to hand in the paperwork.
Right.
But did we ever clarify that whether or not they actually have to hand it in to get it?
Yeah, I mean,
I think they should.
They should,
Otherwise,
Well, yeah, if they don't
we have to
get-
give everybody
If they
it.
don't go through DMV for the
right, that's right, if they don't go through
plate,
DMV,
then
so.
they have to come here.
And they have
to get
to
it.
Well,
prove
the
that
state
this
statute says,
has not been, he has to look at it, they have to prove that it has not been altered, right? So that's one of the things that when you fill that paperwork out, Ross, make sure there's a couple criteria, you know, that falls into it so that you get it. So if he has not had his car, you know, proven that by Ross, that yes, it has not been altered and you don't have this and that, you know, so I think there's a step that he.
did the last one that we approved do that?
Yeah, because
she
the
turned in
paperwork.
her.
She turned in her paperwork, okay.
You got it, yeah.
Okay.
And so
Well,
it's
he
not-
sounded like he didn't know.
Yeah, he's still, yeah,
I got the impression he would have, but no one told him. They were like, oh, you can do, like, they,
yeah, like everything, yeah.
Like,
And what's
come
the
in
value of
and
that?
talk to the board.
Come
why
on,
don't we
come in and talk to the-
threaten him that
Come in
we'll
and talk to the-
repeal it if he doesn't do it?
I don't think we can.
I know, I'm joking.
What if we, well,
Do we have his, do we even know what his car's at?
We're giving you a,
let's look at it this way. Do we have till we have till the end of September to finish these?
No, we need to finish tonight.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is,
If he
with
gets
this guy,
it in, like, if
this
he
guy,
comes tomorrow and
have him say, well, look, we're willing to give it to you, however, you have to hand in the paperwork, we're not doing it. So go hand in the paperwork, let Ross look at your car, and we'll give it to you. But you have X number of days to do that.
I guess we can do whatever we want.
I guess we could say like grants with conditions, how about that one?
yeah.
What's he valued at now? Do we even know?
I didn't get the impression that he won't do that.
I didn't
I
either.
just think he was like, if you tell me I have to do it, I'll do it.
So why don't we do
Yeah.
that?
I'll do the-
I can make a motion to do that, grant with conditions. Condition being, you know. Everybody okay with that?
What's his bill now? Do we know?
Peter, you okay with
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Okay.
if
What
he-
are we
if he turns
reducing
it
it
in,
from?
Well, that doesn't matter, because if we give them the 500, then it doesn't
How
matter.
do we communicate this?
For the minute.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, how do we?
Put the
wait,
whole
wait,
value.
wait, no, I mean, I guess I'm not comfortable, because if he doesn't turn it in, if he doesn't turn the paperwork in, then
He doesn't get it.
he won't get it.
I would
Right,
make
he
it
doesn't-
my
he has to
personal
turn the paper-
mission to make sure he turns it in.
Right.
All right,
I'll be
so,
like, dude, you got him all
Put it-
in.
what
Let
was
it
his,
take by.
what was
Put
his
it
value?
by on
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to look, yeah.
What number is that?
We don't have his sheet.
Okay.
Appeal
Does
11.
anybody have Appeal 11?
Appeal 11, Appeal 11, Appeal 11.
No, Appeal 10.
No,
that's
Appeal
Appeal
10,
10.
okay, Appeal 10, here it is. That's Appeal 10, yep, okay.
Does
no,
anybody have his sheet to know what his value is?
I do.
I have his mileage, but I don't have his value.
We don't have the paperwork on this girlfriend.
Sorry, no,
Sorry.
it's a very special one.
Do we have
I
that
don't
one or
think
no?
that whole standard.
Do we have any paperwork from him? Do we know his
Actually, I know
second
the
and
first
last
case,
name?
frankly, right? Because they are actually, to buy a standard car now, actually,
Rarer.
actually price up.
Rarer.
What?
Right.
What ratchets the price up?
Standard.
Well,
Do
when
we- I
things,
can look up his tax.
when
and
things
give us
are
no
not
paperwork.
done anymore,
No,
they become
no.
more rare.
Oh, but
Yes,
he
but
didn't
the
submit
problem with
before?
the standard shift is, no one knows how to drive them, very few, not no
But
one.
that makes it more rare.
But it's harder to sell
We have
because
number
it's
We
more
just didn't
viable.
have a copy of it.
Like young kids are
How
not
do you
going
spell
to
his
drive
name?
that
I
car,
can
that's
look
what
him
Jeff
up.
said.
It looks like P-A-G-L-I-A.
My knucklehead.
PEI.
Got
Paglia, okay.
Doesn't.
99 Ridgely Avenue.
Yep, I got it.
Oh, that's him?
Okay.
Oh, I know him, I'll call him, I'll find him.
Oh,
He's a
this is your
mailman.
client.
He's a mailman. He was, I don't know if he still is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A Honda Civic, so his bill this year is $83.77. His 2022 assessed. Yeah.
Was it assessed at or appraised at?
Well, I don't know, that's his tax bill, so let me look at the
Please, we have one of these.
tax bill's not available to me. I'll look like that.
My brother likes to drive a Civic. He's heartbroken that
Oh, yeah,
this is
big
his first,
kid guy thing.
this is his first automatic. He's been driving since he was 16 and he's 66. Has to have it, yeah. Which was always a problem, so when he took his car, he was screaming at me, that was just clutch.
Just say it's later than 7:50.
All right. Are you good with some sort of condition? What do we say? He's got what?
The end of September. He's got till September 30th.
Okay,
Well, that's very fair.
That's very fair. He won't take that long. He's a little bit. Okay.
It's assessed at $3,045.
Oh, okay, I can see why he wants to do that.
So whatever that value is, $3,045.
That's his assessment. Okay.
If we're talking assessed anyway for these guys,
Yep.
then we can use the assessed.
All right, so I'm gonna try a motion and see where we go. I'll make a motion that we, approve the $500, the change to the $500 that he requested. Assessment, with condition that he fills out and turns in his paperwork to Ross Murray in the tax assessor's office by September 30th, 2023.
And then approved, that Ross approved it.
Right, Ross has to be approved by Ross. So now I'll have to leave Ross a message that when he comes in, make sure that, to let us, we don't really have to know, but.
Yeah, but does these take a week to get out?
I'll have to find him before that.
We're only on the 6th.
And I can probably find him before that.
Okay.
You know what we can do, I don't know how good I can talk to Ross about making the letter say that. I don't know if he'll do it, but I can certainly try. So then he'll get his letter and he'll just follow it. Okay, what's next?
So wait, do you have to vote on that, or?
Oh, yeah, all in favor?
Yeah.
Unanimous. Thank you. Next.
Number 11. We didn't do this.
Lucky number 11.
No.
7-11. He was 11, wasn't he?
We did this with Ross.
My God, does it ever
This is the one
end?
with Ross, where he says it takes 575 off, of 12,700, something like that? The town appraised
I think
value?
12,671 now. It takes them down to 12,096 or 12,100.
And he's saying the appraised JD Power right now is 9,000.
Yeah.
Value based on October 2020.
Oh, look that one up.
He paid 9,000 in 2020 for it.
And then I have here, used car market went up, he knows that.
Yeah, he said the body's okay, has a few dings and scratches.
I'm sorry, what kind of car is this?
13
Honda Civic EX.
And again, I keep going back to that, not every car went up in value. I bought a car in 2021, brand new. It's gone down in value. It hasn't gone up. It's a difficult car to find. Took me 8 months to find it.
But last year.
But I'm just saying, like, you're saying, we keep saying, I'm not questioning the value of the car as a number. What I'm saying is that, we keep saying, these cars keep going up, they're going up, they're going up.
No, not anymore. No, they're
Not now, but they did.
They did.
And so, but mine didn't. It went down in value. And it was, I have like 7,000 miles on it. And it's 2021. It's a convertible. It's a 6-cylinder engine, 350 horsepower. It's very hard to find.
Last year and
I
saw
looked
that
in 20, I keep looking to see maybe I should sell it. But it's gone down in value. Now, I don't understand why a car like that goes down in value. You can't even find one. They don't make them anymore. So it's not every car. I'm kind of glad because I would have been.
So when we looked it up, when Ross was
One with
here,
the conditions, so what do
Yeah.
you wanna do here?
I wrote this down, I'm thinking this is,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
you look in the book,
I'll put,
it said, no, sorry, that's wrong.
You said he had
we're gonna say,
135,000 miles.
granted, well, here's the choices, right?
We're
Blah,
not
blah,
adopting
blah,
yours.
right?
2022.
I'm gonna
10
say,
years old, divided by
granted,
2013.
Yeah, when we looked it up, class 1, it was 11,425. And then,
But we really have them at 12,671 based on the VIN.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I still, I know that he said it's
That's
a
gonna
difference
go
in
to
the VIN
9.
numbers, but why, when we relied on this book, comes out to 11,425, and then an adjustment of 575 for mileage.
He's asking for 9, right? Is that what I have in my notes?
we'll go with that.
Well, you
I'll
just
call
say
Ross
the
up
average
and,
price
tell him that.
paid, I don't have that other sheet, so I don't know what he's asking for. He paid 9,000, but he did say the average price paid for JD
I have
Power
average
is
price paid.
9,950.
Right, 99050, based on miles now.
9,950.
9950 I have.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But, you know, again, I go back to when Ross was here and last one, 11,425 minus the 575. I mean, I still don't understand why we have two different prices here.
I don't either.
Because the VIN, because the,
Well, I know that's what he said, but I still don't.
because it makes sense.
Because it,
The whole thing is
because it doesn't make sense. It's basically the
It
answer.
doesn't make sense. I mean, we're using a book, but then we can do better. We can get, if we use the whole VIN number, we can do better at being more accurate, but we don't do that. So I don't know, it's just the whole thing, just, thank God we don't have to do it again.
Intuitively, I don't
This is it. Thank God we don't have to do it
understand
again.
how the price, knowing that the market did go up, but then it went down, how we can, say the price is $11,000 when he paid $9,000. I don't get that.
I have a copy of the agenda out, and I can't find it, and I must have got mixed in with the paper.
And he put a lot of miles on it?
He said he bought it with high miles on
You
it.
bought it with high miles.
I know.
That's what he said.
That's what I
And
was
you
looking
put
for.
high miles on it.
Yeah, but
I mean, he
it
did
was,
say he put about 20,000 miles a
it's at
year.
155 now. But it's it was, he said 135 last October,
Right.
which for a 10-year-old car is not, is 13,000 miles a year. That's not 20,000 miles a year.
Right, but would it go up?
I mean,
Oh, wait, back
Hondas,
then?
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
the Hondas and Toyotas and those, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm just not seeing any adjustment for mileage for me. He said, you know, the body's okay, dings and scratches. I don't know, 10 years old.
Well, the way I'm seeing it is we have two numbers. One with the complete VIN number of 12,671, the other one in this book, 10,450. So, and he's asking for 9,950? I don't know.
When the 10,000, I'll be done with it. 9,000,
Ross said to take the mileage comes off at 575.
Right.
Slightly high miles. That's,
Right.
that's the number, 575.
I think 12,671 is too high.
mm-hmm.
But
But then the other number is what, 10,000?
it's still higher than what he paid for the car, 10,450.
What did he want it to
Maybe
go
he bought
to?
it private. Okay.
What did he want it to go to?
He didn't say.
He didn't say, he just said
No,
the
he said,
average
I
price
have
is
nine. I have nine.
9,950.
He wanted 9.
He wanted 9.
Well, give him 10.
Fine.
Let's give him 10. Anybody wanna make a motion,
I'm
or-
not comfortable with 12,000.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Somebody making a motion?
Yeah, all right, I'll make a motion, this is for appeal number 11, that we, grant this appeal in part from 12,671 down to 10,000.
Even.
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor? All right. All opposed?
Peter and Kathleen.
No, Peter was,
Oh, Peter was, I'm sorry, I couldn't see. Sorry, Peter, I didn't see your hand, I apologize.
All right.
Okay, so we're done with that. Yes?
We did appeal 12?
yeah,
I thought we did. We did them all, Kathy?
that's, yeah.
Kathy says we did them all, so we're finished with that. Moving on quickly to the approving of minutes. We have to do it. Takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry.
Let's see now. We need to approve minutes for March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 29th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I sent an email with the minutes, asked everybody to review them. Does anybody have any changes?
Nope, there were a couple things that were in my, spam box that I found today from Kathy. So there was one change you asked me about, the original value. Did you end up making that change? And I never saw that either.
Yeah,
So, yeah, you made that change.
Uh-huh.
Are we doing, we're doing the hearing minutes, or we're just doing the decision minutes right now?
This says hearing minutes.
The hearing minutes are 6 to 8, and you need
Oh, those are
an
deliberation
agenda
minutes?
item for these,
Right.
probably.
I'm not adding
We
an
have to
agenda
add
item,
the
we're
other
doing them.
ones.
I'm not adding them to the agenda, it's going under this category right here. Other business brought before the board. There we go. That's other business. If you got,
If it's a voting item, you still have to add it to the agenda.
I just did, I added it right here. Deliberation minutes, that's.
Make a motion
What's
to
the-
add all the deliberation minutes.
Why? Why do we have to do that? I added it. Other business brought before the board, and I put down what it
Technically,
is.
you can't add a voting item to an agenda.
Why not? Is that a Robert's Rules thing?
Yes,
We don't follow Robert's Rules here.
well, the vote, all boards, probably.
We don't follow
FOI
Robert's
as
rules.
well, but whatever.
It's not an FOI thing. I had a nice chat with the FOI the other day. It's interesting what you can learn from them.
Okay, anyway,
Okay,
what are
so,
we approving? Let's just make sure the motion is,
did you not hear me say we're just approving them, 13, 14, 15? Did everybody read the minutes? Let's go with that. Does anybody have any changes? I had one thing that, I don't care if we change it now, we can leave it, but in the going forward, I don't think I want to see it anymore, which is, something in there about people present at the meeting. It has us, the public, because they were public here, but it also has, Paula being at the meetings. She doesn't, makes it look like she's technically at the meeting. She's not. She's sitting by the telephone waiting for us to ask her questions. She wasn't here.
she was.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
I only put her here when she's here.
Virtual
So then,
presence is
Do you
active.
think she was really here all those nights?
She was on the call.
So what? Lots of people, are we gonna list everybody on the call?
on there all those nights.
Why does it, why
Well,
is
but she's on the call.
it?
It's important to me because I've spent a lot of time removing them from our business because they don't belong in it unless we need them for something. And so to just say, well, she's there too, well, she's part of the assessors department.
She spoke.
She spoke all these times?
She spoke at every one of those meetings at least once.
Okay, well, we'll be stopping
The
that,
public
okay.
didn't speak. If the public speaks, they need to put their.
Well, they're not allowed to speak though. It says they will not be heard.
That's why we don't have to necessarily list the members of the
All
public.
right, so we'll just, from now on, I'll just remember when she's here and when she's not here. And then we'll put her on. Okay. If there's no other questions with those minutes, then I make a motion that we approve the minutes. All in favor?
We're doing the hearing minutes now too?
We just did those 3 deliberations. Now we have March 6th and 8th hearing minutes. Correct?
There were 4 deliberations too, right?
We did. 13, 14, 15, and 29.
That's 4, okay.
Okay. March 6th and 8th, hearing minutes.
6, 7, 8.
6 through 8. I'm sorry, 6 through 8,
3,
okay?
7 hearing minutes.
And those are hearing minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at them, I hope? Any changes? No. All in favor of approving the minutes from March 6th, 7th, and 8th, hearings? Unanimous. Okay, now those can get posted to the website. Okay? I think I don't really think I have any other, does anybody have any questions?
I had some other
Okay, go ahead.
things, business. You and I were discussing proposing something for next year's motor vehicles so that we have a sense, so this isn't happening like it happens. We have a better sense of who's coming. Why can't we request, I don't want to propose what it is. I just want to propose that we look into a change for next year. 'Cause
I think that's a good idea.
I don't
This can't go on.
like the way this is handled.
I don't either.
And I think we can do a better job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So I think that, we can work on that so that for next year, we can have something. And I don't see anything in the regs that says we can't say to them, you have to submit it in advance. What I see is you're supposed to pick a day in September. But I don't see it say that. It says one day in September you do the motor vehicles. I don't see that it says we can't say, you have to have them in by a certain day. Submit them to the assessor's office.
Strongly encourage you
We
to submit your
encourage it.
paperwork ahead
Yeah.
of time.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so that then maybe we can have a
And
little
then
bit
maybe
better.
we do and then we can do slots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fair to have them all
Form
sitting
needs
here
to
waiting.
be better because they assess versus the appraised.
Yes, they
don't
have to-
understand
right.
October. I mean, it's.
Right, it's difficult for them. I feel bad for them, because they sit here, they go through all this trouble, and it's like, no, well, that's not the right time frame. Then they're stuck, they don't even know what to say.
Honestly,
They
probably do fill it out before they come, right?
I'm sure that most of them do. Most of them came with this filled in, so,
So
yeah.
they are filling it out, so maybe they fill it out.
So let's look into that, what we can do to make that change, to make it more efficient, more user-friendly for them and easier for us.
And when they check in, they can scan it in and throw it on the website. It's really fast for them. They just put it in the scanner, they upload it, and then we can sit at our laptops and we can click on it. And we don't need to be down there making 25 copies.
Right, we don't need to be doing that, yeah, yeah.
No, they can scan a package.
I did call this morning and asked for some help with that, and Ross never got back to me. Maybe they didn't tell him. I can't blame him, because I don't know if he ever got the message. But they told me they don't have anything like this. I was like, yes, you do, because we used it before. we'll have Ross call you, never called me, so they may never even told him, I don't know. When I came in, though, Ross sent me an email about something else and said that he had something available, so I didn't push the issue after that, but, okay, so that's it. Any other business anybody want to bring up before the last thing?
No, what's the date of our next meeting?
Our next meeting is, December. That's that organizational
After the
meeting?
election, yeah.
I forget what day. Somebody know? I think I put it in my calendar, but I don't want to stop and look.
I mean, is this the last meeting for anybody? I think, Peter, are you on the ballot?
I am on that.
Yes. Anybody else running? Alina, are you running?
Yeah, I'm running.
Okay.
So it's not really anybody's last meeting.
Nobody's last meeting. If you weren't running, then we would
No, I
thank you for your
Oh,
time.
wait, just,
So let's see,
I
and
have
then
organizational meeting, yeah, that's it.
December 5th, okay. And just for next year, we can do this on the organizational meeting, but I just want to think about moving the date for this meeting. Because it's too close to Labor Day, I think.
Okay.
For my own personal reasons, but also the US Open is now, and I'm not able to go if I have to sit here, so. So I want to see if we can pick a date a little bit further out, not much further out, just a little bit further out, to take us into maybe the next week.
Is there a reason we have to, whatever?
I don't think there's a reason, it just says, the state says, it's just a day in September. It doesn't give a day or a date or a time frame. It just says a day. So I think we can work on that. Okay?
it'll be cooler out when we look at cars.
Yeah, it'll be cool around moving cars. Just for everybody's, information, I said I spent a lot of time talking to FOI. I spoke to, what's his first name? I keep forgetting his first name, but his last name is Blair, Mr. Blair, at FOI. Really nice guy. He's a supervisor or something. We went over some things, and interestingly enough, we do not have to record these meetings. We are not required to do any recording. We have to record, we have to have minutes. When I say recording, I mean electronic. We have to have minutes, and what needs to be in those minutes is very minimal, based on their standards. We're putting way more than we need to. And that we do not have to do any recording of hearings or minutes. Hearings or deliberations. It's required for some boards and departments in towns. But for some reason, we're not on that list. And he thought we were. He looked it up and called me back and said, no, you're exempt from it. You don't have to do it. So.
I believe the first select woman asks everybody to do it, so it's more of a town.
No, I'll have a little chat with her. But what we're going to do though is for Kathy, I spoke to Kathy about this today, and it's very helpful to her to have them recorded, because she goes
I
back
was
and
gonna say, for those of us that miss it too, like the hearings, we ended up having daytime hearings, even though we were all gonna hear all the appeals. This year, right, Peter and I couldn't make it during the day, so we missed the daytime hearing. So it was very helpful for me to go that night or whatever, the next day, listen to all of those, and then I could participate. I feel much more comfortable participating in the deliberations when I'm able to listen to the appeals. So.
I have nothing else. Does anybody make a motion that we adjourn the meeting? All in favor?
8:54.
Meeting adjourned at 8:54.